Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. And today, Nation, we got a very special show today. We got three of the best, Eagle fan content creators that are out there coming on the show today. So make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that like, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. I got my boy JC Eagles Talk in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles are 6-0. I didn't see this coming. I'm gonna keep it 100, but I'm glad they have exceeded my expectations so far. So hey, let's get into it.
Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it because
what's up, Nina?
Nina in the building. I've been telling you guys that this team we built different. You know what I'm saying? We built different than any other team. Let's talk about this Cowboys game we just had. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jalen finally beat the Cowboys, got that off his resume. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of hearing Jalen can't beat the Cowboys. And he went out there and did it. And it's just the Eagles in general, but, it's Jalen Hurts specifically. These guys went out there and did a great job. Like, I feel like this team's unstoppable. Like, you can pick your poison, what you want to mess with. And we'll talk about, we'll break down the team a little bit more a little bit later. But tell me how you feel about that game. In the season.
Look, all right. For the haters out there, they are still going to say that Jalen Hurts did not beat the Cowboys. Why? Because Dak Prescott wasn't there. I mean, because when Dak Prescott is there, Jalen Hurts can't beat the Cowboys. So for the haters out there, that was watching the game, to them, Jalen Hurts did not beat the Cowboys. But on the record, a 6-0 record. Look, Jalen Hurts beat the Cowboys, man. I don't care. Hey, he went from not being able to be a divisional rival, the Giants, the Commanders. Every day they change their name, but I think it's still the Commanders. I think the last time I checked, the Cowboys, and look, last time I checked, the only loss he have against the division that he's played is against the Giants last year. You know what I mean? Because the Cowboys, the whole Cowboys game last year, nobody started. So he's doing pretty good so far. And not only that, he can't beat the Cowboys. He went from he can't be a relevant team, a team above 500, to beating teams above 500. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings was 500 when Jalen Hurts beat them. I don't give a damn, you know what I mean? I mean, man, what gets me is this. Every team we played at that current time, I believe, was 500. Like 500 to me is a winning record, but now there are, a little bit below. We played the Jags. They were at what? 500.
And they were the sixth-ranked offense.
Division, they led their division, right? The Vikings lead their division. Yeah, 5-1. The only one loss came from us. And now we beat the Cowboys. Yes, I know people going to say, Dak wasn't there.
That's what Nina saying right here.
Would that make a difference? Would that make a difference, though? I don't know, because the way the defense, Dak Prescott, to me, I think he holds on to the ball a little bit longer than Cooper Rush. Besides Cooper Rush, the only guy that was getting rid of the ball faster was who? Kyler Murray. He was the #1 quarterback getting rid of the ball under 2 seconds. 1.8, the ball was gone. 1.8 seconds, the ball was gone. So that's who we faced the week prior. So, and then came Cooper Rush. So is that quick with the ball, with getting rid of the ball? I don't know. But either way, a win's a win. 6-0.
Dak lost that game too. He was starting this year, but they had 3 points when he went down.
I mean, look, that's true. Hey, well, look, with all due respect to the Cowboys, man, the Bucks, I think everybody picked them to lose that game. You know what I mean? And regardless how healthy the Cowboys were, Tom Brady coming in with one arm tied behind his back. We just don't believe in the Dallas Cowboys against good teams. They don't beat good teams. They beat bad teams. So that's why, regardless, and they end up losing to the Bucks. And yes, Tom Brady had one touchdown, I think. Yeah, one touchdown against Diggs. Mike Evans, touchdown against Trayvon Diggs. So, and that was it. But a lot of field goals in that game. But we all knew that the Bucks was going to win that game. I had no doubt about that game. But the rest of the year, I mean, we don't know what Dak is capable of doing. The fire maybe have been lit watching, Cooper Rush, the next Tony Romo. And we know how
won 4 straight games.
He won 4 straight games against suspect offensive line. I don't care. I'm just going to keep saying it. He won those games against every single last one of those games was against compromised offensive line. Name me one good offensive line Cooper Rush beat. I'll wait.
Offensive line, though?
Yes, offensive line.
What are we talking about that for? Cooper, his offensive
line? Because the Dallas Cowboys defensive line was able to take advantage of every team that they went against. Offensive line. So the Cowboys, yes, were 4-0, but every team that they played did not have an offensive line. If Joe Burrow had a little decent offensive line, not a great one, that would have been a loss. If Matthew Stafford had a decent offensive line, that would have been a loss. Because, come on, man. You're not going to hold a team to 14 points in the NFL. You know what I mean? Or 17 points. Unless, what year was that? The 72 Bears, the 82 Bears, whatever it was, right? You had to be that good, to be holding these teams because, literally, the NFL is rigged for what? Explosions, offenses, quarterback, throw the ball down the field. But the second team with a defense offensive line that they face, what happened? 2 losses and 2 teams with decent offensive line.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
I was just saying in general, like the Cowboy fans are getting a little too hyped. Like, yeah, you got Parsons, yeah, you got Diggs, and even if you had Dak, like those are 3 people. This team is complete, man. And I've been saying that since the jump. Like, there's no weak flaws on this team. You wanted to say in the beginning of the season, Jalen Hurts could be the only reason why the Eagles won't be successful. And as you see, Jalen Hurts is doing his damn job at a high level, and that's why we're 6-0. You know, you want to say our safeties, even Epps and Gardner Johnson are playing some good football, my guy. Like they're playing some Pro Bowl level football right now. So anywhere you want to go, linebackers from last year, are they going to actually gel together? Reddick's having a good season. White's having a good season. You know what I'm saying? Like Edwards having a good season. They're all out there balling at a high level. So, you know, if you're going to say that these are the only, like going into the season, you're going to say these are the only weaknesses that can keep us from playing good, and you see that those players and those weaknesses are playing great. Who would have thought we had the best secondary in the NFL? Bradbury's playing lights out.
I did.
Slay playing lights out.
I did, because if you go on my Twitter and it's pinned to my page, I had the Philadelphia Eagles leading the league in turnovers. Like I had my 5 bold prediction. Well, one of them was the Eagles will lead the league in turnovers. And so far, it's coming true. Jalen Hurts will win the MVP was my other bold prediction. And this was in July. Miles Sanders will have 8 rushing touchdowns, over 1,100 yards rushing. Devontae Smith will I believe he'll have 10 touchdowns. So it's all pinned on my Twitter page, 5 bold prediction. And so far, I'm 5 for 5. All of them are true. That Dallas will be top 3 tight end, like 85 reception plus. All on my Twitter pin. So I saw this coming, that this Philadelphia Eagles a defense could be this good, but it's still a long way to go, though. I mean, week 6. We're 6-0, but there's 11 games left. So let's just, just remember that.
I get it. Like what? No, it's week 6 or it's what? 10 games
week
left.
6.
10 games left.
11. 11 games left. There's 17 game season.
17 game season. Yeah,
so it's week 18. So
week 18. But still, no one, like my losses that I had for us this year, those teams we already played. I thought maybe Dougie P would do something, and like he started out really hot, and I thought my theory was gonna be right, but we came back and won that game. And then I thought maybe Carson Wentz, like the rest of the Redskins or Commanders, whatever you want to call them, players that left the Philadelphia Eagles and went there to Washington, all balled out against us. So I thought maybe Carson Wentz will ball out against us, and we sacked him 9 times, man, and we destroyed them. So it's like, wow, like. Okay, now I'm starting to run out. I thought maybe one of the Cowboy games, which we only played one, so I can't say that theory's not correct. But I think we're going to get better as the season goes along, so it's going to make it that much harder for them to win that second one. But maybe those were my 3. Those were my 3 losses. So I'm sitting here like 17-0 to prove otherwise. But I know there has to be a loss somewhere. What do you think about that?
Look, there's a few losses. Like, I'm not going to lie, because I did have the Eagles. Well, okay, look, I did have the Eagles going 12-5. Like 12-5. All right, this is before I saw this, the games is being played, or our defense. I had the Eagles splitting with the Commanders, all right, and splitting with Dallas, okay? I had them losing to the Colts. I had them losing to the Packers. And I think I had them losing to the Cardinals because of a trap game, big win, it kind of like played out like this. Our first loss, I did a video. Oh my God, I got killed for it by Eagle fans, right? I literally said the Philadelphia Eagles will lose to the Cardinals. The Cardinals will defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-21. Let me tell you, as that game progressed, I was like, oh, I'm hoping I'm wrong because that missed field goal was everything. They had the momentum.
Yeah.
We could not score. We like imagine they hit that field goal. We go into overtime. Man, anything could happen. But the exact same thing. A letdown game, a big game against the Jags the week before, coming back from behind, and then week 6 matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. That was the perfect letdown in the middle. So I said the Eagles was going to lose the Cardinals, and boy, I got a lot of comments. But hey, the Eagle fans are forgiving fans. They forgive me.
You might as well be enthusiastic about it and just tell them, what you really feel like. These guys aren't going to be beat. Like,
Well, no. Well, I'm telling you, the Eagles, I still see them losing. Like max is 4 games, but minimum is 3.
Out of those ones, we already
the
played
Cowboys game. The Cowboys game, I feel like that we gonna lose that second game. It's at home, revenge game. Dak is back. I mean, like all that is going to go into play. I feel like that they're going to jump on us early.
But
and
you didn't see this game and think that if we didn't play our best game now, by the time we play them again, we're not playing our best football by then. Come on,
BG.
We beat them handily. Like we really won that game in the second quarter.
Okay,
it was wrap. It was already done.
But that's been the whole season. But aren't you tired of saying the exact same thing every week? We haven't played our best game. Week 1. We haven't played our best game.
We're not supposed to be peaking right now.
So how the hell you know that these teams are not going to get better as the weeks go along? So we can't go off of their records now because I think that the Packers are going to get better. The trade deadline is coming. They're going to make a move to upgrade their wide receiver core. I mean, look, I seriously think that week 6 is too early. The Eagles was 2-4 last year in week 6, I believe. 2-4, and we end up going on a run and making the playoffs. This is football.
We're going into, but you got to look at it like this. We're going into week 8 undefeated.
Well, for us is week 7.
Well, this is next week 7 when that's our bye.
No. But for us, that will be 7 weeks. So our record is still 6-0, but we lose that game. We 6-1. Last year, we was 2-5. 2-5, 7 weeks in. Regardless when the bye came, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, these teams are going to get better. Like, regardless of what we think so or not. The Packers are going to get better. The Bucks are going to get better. Every team, if you watch football every year, it's whoever gets hot, like midway through or at the end, that makes it the farthest. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
7-0 teams go,
11-0 teams. 11 go. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not made playoffs. And
you remember Pittsburgh? Man, they made the playoffs, and the Browns ran through them like diarrhea. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, man. Look, that's what I'm saying. And
I agree with you, Drew. I think that should have been a blowout. But
absolutely. And that's the problem.
You gotta look at this.
Blow teams out.
Listen, as we just said right now, listen, and this is my theory, and it's just my theory of why the Eagles so-called have, problems in the second half of football games. When you're blowing a team out that bad in the first half of football, it's instantly gonna put you into, relax. But why do you got to keep putting out your best plays? Showing more film on tape of all your top plays and like your top weapons, using them to full capacity. Why not dumb down the game?
When do you stop
the second half? Just like we did it against Dallas, we dumbed down the game
until they got close to just relaxing. But when do you stop relaxing? When the team is within 3 points?
When the team's good enough to show you the
hell no, that's not how championship team win games. If you're championship teams, you go for the juggler. You go for the throat. You're down.
We got the hit at halftime. Like, we're already done. Like, our game's over. We already know we won. Now, we already showed that we can establish dominance on a football team off the jump.
I agree with that.
Now, do I want to see them score like 50-something points and like have one of them big blowout games? Of course. But I'm saying competition-wise, you know how Nick's always talk about competitive edges? Why show all your stuff throughout a whole game when you already beat them in the second quarter? You already beat them in the second quarter. It's done. Why
It's
keep
not
going with it?
over. It's a 60-minute game. The Ravens was up by 25. Ravens was up by 25 on the Dolphins. And the Dolphins came back. The Pittsburgh Steelers was down, right? The Jets. To the Jets. The Steelers was up by 14. They came back and won the game. So just stop sleeping on these teams. Everybody get paid. All right. Everybody have families to feed. I hate the fact that, like, man, according to you, we could turn off and turn on like that. Hell no, that's not how football works, brother.
It doesn't normally unless you got one of them special teams. You've watched teams like that do that, but you only really watched the history.
Have you ever watched that won a Super Bowl that turned it off in the second half throughout a whole season? I've not seen not one team. I've seen,
but it hasn't been the whole season. We've had to fight in some games. You know what I'm saying? Like where we didn't jump up to the big league. We had a couple of games we were in the game with them the whole time too. And that's why I say, like, the Eagles, if you're only going 6 games, the Eagles have played every style game there is, like dogfight or even like a blowout type situation. Like, yeah, the score might not look like a blowout at the end, but we all know the game was over long before that clock struck.
Look, I agree with these comments, man. Look, I agree with these comments. Believe me. Look, I'm thinking the bigger picture here. And maybe we might get better, but I'm tired of saying the same thing on my podcast. We can't score second half. We can't score second half. The only game with the Philadelphia the only game the Philadelphia Eagles put up double-digit points was week 1 against the Lions 14. Otherwise, we're literally putting up 3 points, 6 points in the whole 30 minutes freaking game. Stop it. Stop. There's no way you could continue going to on the next 11 weeks, only putting up the max we put up so far in the second half, besides the Lions game, 9 points.
But what is the overall score? Like, how many points are we really giving up, though, JC? That's what I mean. Like last game, yes, you start seeing Cowboys come back, but when they got right there and striking, this is what we do. We had a long drive, and then we scored a touchdown and put the game away.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, we can do what we want when we want to do it, and there's nothing another team can do about it. We have too many weapons on offense to stop it.
See, you're looking at the short-term picture. I'm looking at long-term picture. Can we do this type of game against the Bills, against the Chiefs, against top offenses?
Unless it's in the Super Bowl.
See, once again, man, I hear you, but at the same time, I mean, these teams are going to get better. The Packers are going to get better. The Bucs are going to get better. You know why? Because of their quarterback. We've seen Aaron Rodgers multiple years start off slow and say, relax. All saying they ran through the league. We seen Tom Brady say, we got this, and won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, I'm not worried about these little teams that we're playing right now. So, I mean, look.
But just like you say that, too, I can say, you heard Jalen, you heard these guys. We're going to get better, too, as the season progresses. We're going to have players playing and gelling. The thing is, we are, like, the difference that people don't realize, this team is not playing 100% ball-out football right now, but we still
we have yet to see
we're growing together. It's going to take a minute. I say
you have yet to see a complete game. We won't
probably see that until week 10.
Oh, my God. That makes absolutely no sense.
8 to 10, yeah, you got to gel together. You're seeing what these guys are doing, and our players are leading stat and like in the top 10 in a lot of stats, individual stat, like achievement, because the players are doing good. It's just they're still gelling. Like, we're only 6 games in the season, and a lot of people thought it was going to take a lot more time for us to even get to the level that we're at now.
Okay. So, cool. I understand on the defensive side, right? Everybody came back on the offensive side, minus, and you throw in A.J. Brown. That's it. And Zach Pascal, he barely plays. So, A.J. Brown is in this new system. I understand. So I would understand this last year if we weren't scoring as much. Is it's a new system. This is year 2. This is year 2. Miles Sanders got 4 touchdowns already. You know what I mean? Dallas Goedert is top 3 tight end, is number 1 in yak. You know what I mean? So all these things are clicking for the Philadelphia Eagles. AJ Brown, top 5 in receiving. You have Devontae Smith, almost in top 5 in receiving. These guys, the offense is clicking only for a quarter. So you can't tell me this is going to get better when you put up 20-something points in the second quarter and then put up basically 6 points in
other
the whole
teams aren't even
30
putting up
minutes.
20 points in whole games, JC. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no team right now in the
No.
NFL going.
See, you keep going backwards. You keep going backwards.
No team in the NFL is going 4 quarters.
No.
Like, you got to give us our kudos too.
What did I say? See, the thing is this. I'm not satisfied. I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I don't want to be embarrassed in the playoffs or when we play a team that's blowing our backs out once we was up by 20. I haven't seen this team put a complete game together yet in third or fourth quarter. Only one quarter I've seen this team dominate. The Philadelphia Eagles came into the Dallas game number 1 in second quarter points. That is 85 points, more than 17 teams, including the Dallas Cowboys. It's more than 17 teams, more than half the league. The Eagles came into this game scoring 85 points, more than 17 teams. But check out their second half scores. They are bottom of the league when it comes to second half points. You cannot do that if you expect to be
you cannot do that if your defense sucked and every game was a cat fight. You couldn't do it then. Your team wouldn't be very good. But when your defense is good like ours, we got the best secondary. We got like one of the best defense in the league. You can do that because you don't need to show all your stuff in the second half if you're already blowing the team out.
That is not preseason, BG. This is not preseason. You're showing all your stuff. What are the stuff you're showing? I mean, they come in there with the game plan, with the sheet this big. So what all stuff that they showing? Okay, the Dallas Cowboys was exposed. You know why? Because they played a complete offensive line for the first time, and their defense did not give up one rushing touchdown all year. And the Eagles exposed that. They have not given up more than 19 points all year. Eagles exposed that. You know why? Because the Eagles was better than them on offense. Imagine neck and neck, equal teams.
I mean, there isn't one.
All right.
Who? That's why I be asking people. I'm not saying this to be silly. What team is as complete as the Philadelphia Eagles? There's not one team.
Every team have a bad game. And you know what? Right now,
like says, our defense is better than the Bills and the Chiefs. Like, we got the best defense in the league right now. We have the best offense in the league.
The Bills and the Chiefs has played better competition. Let's keep it 100. The Bills and the Chiefs has played better competition. Really? So just stop. Yes, absolutely, really. Because your quarterback matters. Competition matters. Yes. And that's why we kept on saying what? The Dallas Cowboys were frauds, right? Because the only team that played that was better on the offensive line was the Bucks. What happened to that? They lost. Yes, I'm an Eagles fan.
But the Dallas is they all hyped up right now like they're about to do something against the Lions. When we played the Lions, they were the number 2 scoring offense in the league. And
that was week 1. I mean, hey, shoot. I'm
saying they were one of it. I think when we played the Jags, they were number 2. But I'm saying like they have one of the best offensive lines in the league, just like ours. That's where they're tripping about. Like, they're gonna go against a buzzsaw offensive line that's gonna really get them next week. I don't think.
Hey, you know what, man? F David, man. F David person. I don't give a damn who the hell you are. Look, this is the thing about fans, right? Like, you can't never go against a team that's unrealistic. So sit your ass down, go somewhere, because guess what? I'm going to keep it real with you, okay? Because if you expect, roses and all this stuff, the Super Bowls, get that shit out your head until you see your team.
I think fans have the right to feel that way. Because we watched
All
this
right.
happen the last 2 years
See,
of
that's
football.
that's what I'm
The
talking about.
last 2 years of football, right? Last year, the Rams loaded up on talent and they won a Super Bowl. Yeah, they had a couple bumps in the road, but they still won the Super Bowl. We knew they were going to win the Super Bowl early in that year, especially the additions that they kept adding.
But
The
that
year
was
before
common
that,
sense.
Tampa Bay,
Everybody picked the Rams.
Tampa Bay had a nice team, and they went
because
out
they
and
were
got
complete. And
Tom
guess
Brady.
what?
And we're
And they were
complete. That's what I'm
scoring.
saying.
They were scoring. They were one of the top scoring offense in the league, and the second half also. They wasn't getting walked down. They wasn't getting walked down. Okay, they was not getting walked down. These teams that you said, otherwhere was one quarterback away, and they were scoring in the second half. So that's why I don't.
They did more than one quarterback. They had to complete the team, man. That's why elite quarterbacks, they don't win multiple Super Bowls. It's about the team. Once they get that fat paycheck, you don't see not one elite quarterback out there right now that's won a Super Bowl after they got paid. It doesn't happen. You don't have enough money to support the team that you need to have around them. That's why Jalen Hurts this year being in this rookie contract and second round draft.
I hear you. You know what?
And our team that's the magic piece. Like we've done everything.
Y'all say
both of those teams done.
Y'all are not listening to what I'm saying. Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. We can't score in the second half. It's alarming.
But you're saying we can't. I think we
can't.
We want to. And obviously last week showed that we could.
What the hell? Hey, what the hell team go in a game and say, you know what? Let's not score the second half. You know what? It's okay. You know what? Let's just not score this. That makes zero sense, Bergane.
If you don't, if your defense is dominating, your defense is getting you the ball back over and over, you waste the clock. You do run plays. You do plays that are going to drain the clock. You're not in first half.
Let's move on to the next question, man. Because this is like I would never be able to
where you
go back
like the first half where you're trying to score points and put them away because you already put them away. So
that makes zero. You don't put teams away in 30 minutes. Unless you got up by 100.
Your defense is elite, playing at elite levels. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Right?
No. No.
Did Chauncey Gardner not have
I never grew up to
make
give
sure
up.
he sealed that game?
No. I played football my whole life. There's no way a coach say, you know what, guys, just let them relax. Let them relax. You know what? Let them come back into the game, and then we'll turn it on.
You're not letting
that's
you're
the most
playing,
stupidest thing I ever heard.
You're strategic. You're running out as much clock as you can. You're hoping to score, but you're gonna do it not using all your.
You just said that, no.
You're dumbing down the offense. You're dumbing down the defense. You cannot keep everything in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Nick,
why would you down anything? What that makes no sense to me.
Why?
Like,
why? When did running out the clock didn't make sense? If you got
in the third quarter. In the third quarter,
lead, the faster you could drain that clock, the faster you get out of there with a
go talk to the Ravens. Go talk to the Ravens.
They're not a complete
go
team
talk
like
to the
us,
Steelers.
So I can't talk to them.
No, see, okay.
The Ravens ain't a complete team. Their defense ain't scary like that. They've lost multiple games. We have never
they had
lost
leads.
17-point
no
lead. Team's better than us.
10-point lead. 21-point lead. They lost. Like it doesn't
but they're
matter.
Not us, though, Jay. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got a complete defense. We got the best secondary in the league, hands down. Like, we're picking balls.
So we're
not letting teams get motivated. And
what was the best quarterback, all right? The best quarterback that we faced this year?
Who?
No. I'm asking you. What is the best quarterback that the Eagles faced this year?
It had to probably be Cousins.
Who?
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
The best so far.
The best. Kirk Cousins.
I'm not saying he's all world or nothing, but he's the best quarterback. And they're 5-1, so you can't even hate on them.
The Bills face who? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, right? And vice versa. Those two teams right here, we get crushed. You know why? I'm telling you right now, they could put up points no matter first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. They are going to put up points. Okay? We haven't faced. So if you're talking about Kirk Cousins, the best quarterback we faced so far, and you are sticking out your chest
but who's
saying
that throwing out the rest of the season, JC? That's what I'm saying. Who's better than Kurt that we play the rest of the year?
But look,
and Aaron Rodgers, his team's not the same.
But look,
They lost,
This is the
and the
thing.
teams you had to compare it to.
Have
That's why I
Kirk
hate.
Cousins,
Like, people are
but
going
have
off of-
Kirk Cousins won an
people are-
MVP in his whole career.
People are going off
Is
last
he
year
a
teams.
four-time league MVP in his whole career? No, he's not. Yo, have we seen the Minnesota go from trash to all of a sudden making a deep run into the playoffs? I haven't. If we're not going to see one of those quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. See, but y'all happy to get to the Super Bowl and lose and get embarrassed. I'm not.
Who's gonna get lose? No team can mess with us, JC.
All right,
We're that team.
And next topic, man. Next topic, because this is stressing me the hell out. Because some fans don't understand where the hell I'm coming from. Y'all would never understand. You don't understand where I'm coming from. You are a 17-year-old mindset type of person. Okay, kudos to you. Let's move on to the next topic, man. Because we could debate this all night. My mind won't change. Your mind won't change. What's the next topic? Let's go, man. Because we're wasting a lot of time right now.
To BG's point, we're beating the Packers. Fact.
Okay, cool. I mean,
I'm just saying like completeness, and that's the only thing I'm arguing. I'm not saying one.
You were about completeness, like no team could have a bad game. The Pittsburgh Steelers was 11-0. They lost 4 out of 5 straight. They were complete at 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, 11-0. The Pittsburgh Steelers was the most complete team in the NFL. All of a sudden, they started, you know what, going down. What happened? The players were still the same. You know why? Because teams start figuring you out and teams start bringing their best punches game in and game out. And you can't score the second half. I keep saying you can't score the second half because we have not proven to score nothing but one game out of 6 double digits against the Lions week 1. Every other game we faced, we had to hold our breath. Against the Cardinals, a 14-0, holding our breath. He missed the freaking, kick. Against freaking the Dallas Cowboys, up 17-0. BG saved our ass because James Bradbury slipped on that play and then boom, got hit, underthrown ball. We got the ball back. So just if you're watching these games, I do play-by-play for every Eagles game. I'm telling you right now, these games are coming down to the wire. Our offense is not moving the ball in the second half. I know y'all don't like negativity or y'all don't like nobody just talking down to your team. But come on, man. The Eagles don't have 20,000 rings. We have one ring for a reason because there's mistakes that's going on every time we get to somewhere, a NFC championship. Eagles should have had 5, 6 Super Bowls already. But there's always, once you get to the playoffs, teams, the level of play go up. They study you. They know exactly what you're going to do. They have 16, 17 weeks of tape on your flaws. So that's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying that's per the reason why you don't do your best football in the second half when you already beat them in the first. Because like you said, those things happen and you can't do it, against better teams or whatnot. But if we are the better team and the fact that, it hasn't happened yet. Yes, teams came back, but it hasn't happened yet. Doing the same philosophy, don't show your hand, just play some simple football.
BG though,
and we won every game.
Acting like the Eagles have a million plays. Every team, you bring brand new plays. No, you don't. Yo, I've seen the exact same plays on 4 games. RPO, hold, throw. I've seen the same exact play from the Philadelphia Eagles in 4 games. So
well, you can't stop it. You gotta keep doing it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But your whole point of saying you can't show your whole hand, they're not showing a lot. Because you know what? Because they're using the same plays over and over again, and it's gonna catch you. One team is gonna say, you know what? Man, we've seen this play before. How do you think this guy be like? Oh man, hey, we know this play. We know because they watch tape. There's no millions of plays every game. There's no millions of plays.
And even watching tape, there's still plays. That's why there's so many options on the play that you can think, how are you going to stop all the options? That's what I'm saying. Like, we have too many good receivers. We have a good tight end. We have good running backs. And we have a good quarterback that they can do both. So you're basically proving my point. Like, you can't stop us.
I'm not proving your point at all.
We are unstoppable.
We are escaping by the skin of our teeth. We are escaping by the skin of our teeth.
You didn't feel like we had that game at second quarter with the Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm like, why? You know what? Y'all so pissed off. I'm like, why aren't we scoring? Hell no. I didn't think the game was in the bag. When it was up to 17 at halftime. Hell no. Because the Cowboys have a great defense. All it takes is one. Yo, Hurts was sacked how many times? 4 times. Jalen Hurts was sacked 4 times.
Lane
All it
was
takes,
out.
I don't care who was out,
Some
but
people
all
were
it
out.
takes, but look, injury is part of the game. Injuries is part of the game. All it takes is one hit, one fumble, one interception. All of a sudden, it's like, God damn it, they got the lead. And now what? So now we're like, oh my God, let's turn on. Hey, let's start. Hey, come on. What's that new play at? Let's start using new plays. That makes zero sense to me. That makes no common sense. Anybody that plays football knows that. Like that makes
That's what
zero
happens in the
sense.
playoffs. Teams do things that they didn't do all season. That's how they, break away from teams. Teams, like you said, they have, all season worth of tape where they want to go look at it and they were, okay, we're going to stop this. And then you get to the playoffs and you have all these new plays that no one can stop because you didn't really have to run them all year long because you were that dominating.
Okay. Let me see. What Drew say above David? He said, I don't agree that we are holding back. I do think they do try some things in the second half that they go back to what works. I mean, it's just, man, look, I don't agree that we're holding back either. With Jalen Hurts' mentality, with Miles Sanders on his contract year, with AJ Brown, that dog mentality. So I don't think our offense is holding back. It's something that teams go into the half, adjust, that we say, you know what, guys, we're about 20. Hey, let's do the exact same thing that's working. And that's the problem. They go into the half up so big that they come out the second half trying to do the exact same thing when the defensive coordinator get paid too. Like, you know why? The Dallas Cowboys showed you exactly what happened. They start, yes, you can see that Lane Johnson was right there. Guess what happened? They started running the ball down our throats more in the second half. Not the first half, the second half, because they saw something that we could not stop. They just saw it and they started adjusting. And then we was like, man, shoot. Because we thought that we were up. Hey, 23, we're good, guys. Just hold on to the lead. That's not how football works. That's not how sports work. You have to
run up the score and now run out the clock.
Run up the damn score. It's the NFL. These are professional guys.
That's true.
Look. Give them that right there. Hurts is saying that we are leaving money on the table. I'm tired of that speech. Every game, we're leaving money on the table, but we got the win. We're leaving the money on the table, we got the win. You know
but
why?
Like you said early, it's early in the season, JC. We're undefeated. We haven't lost one game, and we're leaving money on the table, meaning we're going to get better because they don't want to leave money on the table, and eventually we'll get there. But right now, you got to feel good.
I'm from Missouri.
We're doing better than every single team out there.
I'm from Missouri, man. Show me state. All right? Stop telling me. Week 6 is enough. We almost midway through. If you count the week 7, we come back 10 games. Okay, so we're about 35% through for the season. I don't want to hear the same old, we're leaving money on the table, but good job, yeah. Yo, I'm glad we're 6-0. I'm an Eagles fan. I've been there through the tough time, the good times. I saw the 4 straight, NFC championship losses. I'm not happy with that. That's why you think the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants, the Washington Commanders keep saying one ring. Was y'all even alive then watching the heart attacks, the misery? Because we need to get past that. So we need to start right now. We can't wait and hope that this team start clicking on all cylinders right now. Go out there like the 18-0 Patriots. Them dudes were demolishing with Randy Moss in that team.
Games that they struggled in.
Man,
even the 17 Dolphins had some games they struggled in.
Okay,
you don't have to be perfect in a football game.
Go back, and we haven't been perfect in no games at all. No games. All right, name me one perfect game in week 6 and last week. All right, you know what? Last year compared to this year, what was Hey, name me one perfect game from last year and name me one perfect game from this year, because I'm about to prove your point right here.
Said name be one perfect game from last year and this year.
Yeah, the first 6 games. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's keep it simple. The first 6 games last year compared to the first 6 games this year, a perfect game. And I'm about to tell you the reason why I said that.
Well, no team really has perfect
No.
games. But I will say, Drew says last year Detroit. I was gonna say last year Atlanta was pretty good.
With the first 6 games,
Atlanta,
Detroit wasn't Atlanta, right? We came out.
Detroit.
We came out. Even at halftime, man, it was like close. I think it was like a 10-3, whatever. The second half, we blew them out, right? Because we went in and adjusted. This year, I can't even name one game. I can't name one game where we went into halftime and came out the second half and said, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's blow them out. We're just hoping that our defense has better players, that we can hang in there just enough. So,
and then Drew said this year's Vikings game was pretty close to perfect.
All right. I mean, okay. Very close to perfect when we didn't score nothing but 3 points, I believe. We literally scored 3 points.
When people say that, though, I'm like, did we really need to score?
It's sports. You need to score.
We need to.
Bergen, you play the game at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
You need to score.
You do.
Stop saying it's sports. Or do we need to? Yes, you do. You do. Stop it.
Man, I don't know. I'm saying we are that good that
yes,
I feel like
the Eagles are great this year.
What they're doing is good enough. Keep rolling with it and keep doing your due. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing your due because
all right.
You know,
hey, I agree.
Until it's broke, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like don't fix it. We're not, you know, scoring very many second half points, but we showed last game against one of the finally playing an elite defense. Playing elite defense. We showed finally. People want to see progress.
And they walked us down.
People want to see progress, right?
They walked us down.
They started coming back. When they got within 3, what the Eagles do? We turned around and went out there and scored a touchdown to end the game.
So within 3. So let me see. 20-3. Okay, good. Guys, we're good. Okay, let me see. 20-10. Guys, calm down, guys. We're good. We're just going to let them get a little bit closer. 2017. Guys, slow down. Hey, we're good. Nah, man, that just makes no sense to me. That's what I'm saying. If you had that dog mentality that Nick Sirianni preach about, right? Dog mentality. That's not, we have a cat mentality in the second half. Just based on your take, saying that we watered down everything.
I want the Eagles to win everybody. Like I be saying these score predictions, and I be saying what I want to see Jalen do. Like I want to see him do a lot more. Bigger. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the league and the rest of the teams in the NFL right now, we're doing the best.
We're doing, yes, because of turnovers. Only because of turnovers, because the Eagles have 14 turnovers. The closest teams are like the Vikings with 4. So we have a +8 differential turnover. Okay, I get it. But you take those turnovers away, man, we lose 2 of those games.
You remember last year when the Cowboys won 12-5?
Yeah, they were leading the league in turnovers, but they were also blowing teams out too. They were. Just go back and check. The Cowboys were averaging over 30-something points a game last year. They weren't just barely just squeaking by. I'm telling you, they were blowing teams out. Like they blew the Washington Commanders out. They blew us out twice. I'm telling you right now, all these games that they won.
Come on, the 5 touchdowns.
Okay, all right, cool. I mean, cool. But I'm telling you, the teams that they lost to, they lost the turnover battle. Because you can't always expect your team to win the turnover battle. Defense.
I got a good question for you. I got a good question for you. Going into this year, even after we got Chauncey, I'm gonna say this for me. I knew we were going to have a good secondary. I didn't think that they're going to be this good. Like, this good. That's the biggest difference I think that this team really has. Like, that secondary is legit. Like, Slay's the best corner in the league right now. And Bradbury's right there behind him like, hey, I'm the best. And you're not really because Slay's the best. But it's like, whoa, they're neck and neck. And then Chauncey Gardner Johnson is playing some really good football. He hadn't even been in. He wasn't even here the whole offseason. He's already playing at a good level. Like, was that something you expected to see?
Yes, absolutely. I literally told you, go on my Twitter, JC Sports Talk 20. It's pinned from July. I said that the Philadelphia Eagles will lead the league in turnovers because I had so much faith in James Bradbury, especially with big play Slay. I knew that Marcus Epps. That's why I was like, do not go get another safety like Justin Simmons. Don't get no other safety. I think we're good, but adding Chauncey Gardner, you know what I mean, in there. But I knew that our linebacker core was a lot better. Our front four, that was one of my 5 bold prediction. The Eagles will lead the league in turnovers before a snap was even snap. July 28th. I think it was. So you can ask King that's in the chat. Hey, if you're not following me, I'm telling you, go check my Twitter. I'm not
checking out anyway, regardless of
his. I'm telling you right now.
Right now, go check him out. JC Sports Talk. You know, he's one of the best in the game right now, man. I watch his stuff. Straight fire. Yo, hit that subscribe. You know, and check my boy out for sure. And follow him on all social media platforms.
Hey, I gotta say, look, I gotta say something though. Look, if you watch Bird Game, man, yo, I'm telling you right now, man. Look over his head right now. Yo, it's like birds and roses all around there.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. All right. Yes. So I'm that little devil. Like, hey, look. I'm that guy that's saying, look, there's always more need to be done. You could do better. You could do better. Don't settle. Just like Jalen Hurts, he's never satisfied because like it's not just good enough to win 1 game, 2 game. 3 game. I'm looking. The Philadelphia Eagles will make the playoffs, so that's a no-brainer to me. But I'm looking. Let's start fixing these things now before we get. Let's start blowing teams out. Let's start dominating. You know, and just show me a few, teams that we could blow away. You know, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's coming up. I think. We still got the Bears, the Packers in there, the Colts in there. These teams are not very good. Like, they're not very good. Can we put them away compared to other teams? The Jets even blew the Packers out. God darn it. The Jets blew the Packers out. If we don't equal the Jets performance, then I'm be pissed. I'm going to be pissed because Jets are not as good as Philadelphia.
They're young guys playing some good football. Bryce Hall's a beast. I got him on fantasy. He's
Sanders is a beast.
You know,
I could go tick for tack.
That quarterback is playing some good football right now.
Jalen Hurts playing a top 5
exactly.
MVP.
Hey, you're not gonna get me to say any other team's better than our team at all.
So
we should be able to disrespect every team.
Okay, yeah.
You know, every team out there. I feel like we are that team. We're gonna continue this, right? Everybody thought that this is like a temporary thing, and like a lot of people didn't even have us going 6-0 right now. I'm just gonna say that off the jump. When I was preaching it all off season, no one was really saying they thought it'd at least be a loss or 2, in there. And I was just like, this team is special, man. We just
but
like
when
I said,
you did
hashtag we built different. I'm trying to make that a good hashtag.
Yeah, but when you did your schedule breakdown, the first 6 games, you had us. No, I don't care what was in your brain. Did you do a video the first 6 games talking about 6-0?
I can't say I did because I said the losses is more like the rest of the schedule. I was like, I didn't see a loss because I told you the three losses I told you that I thought was possible with the way, that from knowing what I knew about the team last year going into this year was the Jags game because Dougie P. I knew the Jags were better than they were last year. They got pieces, they got players, and they had a really good coach. And
he's not Andy Reid though. He's not Andy Reid.
I know he's not. Dougie P won a Super Bowl with us, so it obviously means something, right? And I didn't say it was going to happen. I said that could be a sneaky game, a sneaky loss. And then I said Carson Wentz, and obviously we're not playing Carson the second game. So Carson was the first game.
He'll be back, man. He'll be back the second game.
He might.
I mean, Dak came back, 5 weeks, right? 5, 6 weeks. I mean, he could have played last week, and it seemed like because it's on his, his ring, his ring finger on his thorn arm compared to the thumb, where you can't grip the ball. So your ring finger, you still could grip the ball well enough to throw, so 4 to 6 weeks.
I'm not saying he
come
can't,
back.
but like obviously seeing what we did to him the first time. I thought it was gonna be that first game. And he's gonna come in there, especially he was at home. He's gonna go light us up, and it's gonna be a dogfight. I didn't think we were gonna lose the game, but I thought Carson was gonna have a great game. And I think if we could lose the game, that could be the game. So that's 2 emotional games. And then you never know with the Justin Jefferson guys in Minnesota or even the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys had
3-4 games in a row,
a good defense. You know what I'm saying? Like either one of those games were the games that I were expecting those 3 losses to come in.
Man, that's 3-4 games in a row then, because we literally played them the first 6 games.
I didn't say all of them.
I need a solid prediction, man.
Each one individually.
Hey, you are on the fence, man. Yeah, right now you're trying to play both sides. I need your solid prediction. Which team? I don't want to say. I want to hear what team you had us losing to straight up.
Don't tell me. I'm telling you.
But
I told
but
everybody.
You mentioned like 5-6 teams already.
3, I told everybody I have to really dig to try to figure out the 3 losses because I really don't believe anybody on the schedule can beat us.
That's why we do predictions, man.
That's what I said.
Man, this is why we put predictions on video. Because right now, look, I can take your word off of it, but right now, we're doing good. So now you're like, yeah, I kind of had this team losing. All right, cool, man. All right,
those games are past us. Those games are past us. And like I said,
oh man,
everybody wants to say the Green Bay game. I don't think Green Bay is as good as they were last year. And obviously their record is not as good as it was.
Dude, we are better. The best 3 teams are NFCs. The best 3 teams are NFCs currently right now. Even though I think that one of them. Man, it's on the NFC East, because even though I think the Giants are kind of fluky, but man, they beat some, the Packers, the Ravens, the way they beat those teams, coming back from behind, double digits on both of those teams. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, that's not an easy feat, man, especially the quarterback that you're facing, Lamar Jackson, MVP, Aaron Rodgers, 5-time league MVP. So, and they beat both those guys back-to-back years. So you have to put some respect on their name. But yeah, I think the best 3 teams in the NFC is in the NFC East: Eagles, Cowboys, Giants.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
I see my boy Dante backstage with Eagles talk. We're going to get him in here in a minute. But before that, I want JC to tell us, how do you see us coming out of the bye? What does the Eagles need to do coming out of the bye the most?
We need to score the second half, bro.
Give you 1 minute.
Go ahead. Look, the Philadelphia Eagles fans out there, man. I'm an Eagles fan, obviously, man, you could tell. But it's okay to be critical of your team. You know why? You passionate, all right? It's okay to be a passionate fan. I mean, that's why everybody don't do YouTube, because the minute you open your mouth, you kind of like said what everybody don't want to hear, boom, unsubscribe there, or boom, oh, he's a hater. No, it's okay to be critical of your team because you want to see your team succeed. You want them to go the farthest, win multiple championships. So out this bye, I'm going to tell you this. Out of this bye right here, week 8, but our 7th game, we are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I want us to dominate this team. Their quarterback is going to be a rookie, and Pickett. I'm telling you right now, their defense, they might get a Fitzpatrick back, Minka Fitzpatrick back. They might get T.J. Watt back. But look, I don't care who they get back. I want us to dominate this team, and I want to see more second half scoring. I mean, that's the only issue I have, BG. I mean, you can take me off. Second half scoring is the issue. If they could score the second half, man, this team will be unbeatable, unstoppable, Super Bowl bound, because our defense is that good. We are leading the league, and like in every category, we are at least in top 10, period. I mean, holding to teams 17 points a game, man, that's unheard of. If you could hold team to 17 points a game and you are expecting, to move forward, your offense should at least be able to put up at least 21, 24, 27 because your defense is that good. That's my only issue. All right, that's my only issue. This whole back and forth between me and BG was between the whole fact that hey, we've been playing great and all this stuff. Okay, I get it. But what is the problem you see on the Philadelphia Eagles, but BG don't see none? He see is roses.
Oh, I
but
see
what's the problem
problems.
on this
I'm not going to
team?
talk about them.
See, that's the
Talk
thing.
about right now.
Oh, man. So now you set me up to look like the bad guy. You set me up to look like the fall guy.
We always do, Jason.
Because I'm trying to
keep being on here with you, man. You know we always got that chemistry when we're on this.
Yeah,
stage.
man.
We don't go back and forth. But let's welcome my other guests in from Eagles Real Talk. JC, you're more than welcome to stay. Let's keep it rolling. We got 3 great guests tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like.
I'm already hyped up, man. And you got me hyped up right now.
Let's go. What up, Dante?
Hey.
What's up,
hey,
brother?
Fellas, how's it going?
How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing real good. After our Sunday night's game, I'm doing excellent. 6-0. Our team is 6-0, beyond my wildest expectations. Even as optimistic as I was for this season, did I see us going 6-0? I had us winning 12 games in the beginning, so somewhere along the line, we had to lose 5, and I think I had at least one of my losses, or maybe even 2. I don't know, probably 1 within these first 6 games. So for us to be 6-0 is very surprising to me, but it's a pleasant surprise. Let me put it that way. I am very pleasantly surprised, and my co-host on Sunday night show, the post-game show, was like, dude, you look like you're emotional. I was like, yes, I am emotional. My team is 6-0. And I didn't, come on, man. This is the first time. We tried to put, and my co-host Pat said it best. He said, we put together a roster, and we put together a roster based on what we think is going to serve our team the best. We try to assemble the best talent around, and we have aspirations, or we have expectations that they'll play up to the potential potential talent in why we signed them, right? So we had a situation with the Dream Team, right? We signed the Dream when they referred to that team, Dream Team. So we had the expectation. We had all these big time names, and they were supposed to be talented and the such, and they never lived up to the expectation of the talent that we thought we were getting, right? This year, Howie goes out, does a yeoman's job of assembling talent again, and we have these expectations like, wow, if everybody plays up to their ability, this should be a good team. And guess what? It's happened. Like, when does that happen? We're getting everything that we expected from everybody that we signed, and it's still a shock to me that we are 6-0, and this team is actually living up to the expectations that we had when coming into the season. So how am I doing? I'm doing great. That's how I'm doing.
But wait. Let me ask you real quick, man. Real quick, because, what is your concern with this team so far? I know it's hard to find any little holes. 6-0. Please talk to me. What is your concern before Miss I don't know because her name is not up there, but before the other half goes.
JC, she just got up in here.
Oh, my bad, man.
Introduce herself.
All right, my bad, man. Go ahead. Man. My bad.
JC jumping the gun.
I am.
I'm Nichelle, Dante's co-host from Eagles Talk, one of the 3, the trifecta.
All right, so Nichelle, you want to handle this? I mean, what is your concern with this team, even at 6-0? What concerns do you have?
We jumping right into concerns?
Right?
Well,
see, that's why I try to ask. That's why I try to ask.
We jumping right into concerns? Well, let's have at it. Number 1 is special teams. Garbage right now. I mean, we're making tiny bits of progress, but going into the next part of the season, and especially playoffs, we're going to have to tighten up our special teams production, field position, how we handle both punts and kickoff. It's crucial. That's my main concern. Managing injuries is number 2. Getting our rotations in right so we keep fresh legs, as well as the coaches being able to keep progressing as coaches, as play callers, as making when they're making adjustments. Third quarter production is still flat. So those are the concerns. But am I happy that my team is balling? Absolutely. Absolutely. So they're minor concerns right now to me because we still 6-0. The W and L column says we still the best in the league. So I'm a revel in that right now.
Say it with your chest. So Cole, back again. This is what me and JC have been really battling on. The second half performances, guys. We need your opinion. I'm on the board of saying we don't need to do very much in the second half when we blow them out and already know we won the game in the first half. And JC, more important, he want to see more in that second half. I'm like, conserve everything for later on. You know, if you can dumb down your offense and defense and still win the football game, continue to do that as long as it works. How do you feel about it? We've seen in Dallas, we did it, and Dallas got within 3, and then what? We said, okay, that's too close. Let's go score a touchdown.
All year.
That ability to turn it on and off, I really like that. We do have this ability to turn it on and off and hit you any way we want to when we feel like it. I know we're not used to that, but that's kind of impressive by this team that, they can fall back for a minute, not give you too much. All right, we'll let you play. We give you a little soft coverage. Oh, you're doing a little too much. All right, we're going to turn it back up a notch.
I like
Who can do that right now but us?
I like it.
Well, until you guys brought up the second half, my concern was, am I going to be able to get tickets to the playoff games when we were in that house? that was my biggest concern up until then. But if you want to talk about the second half, I'll talk about that. I do have some concern. I have some concern. It's a wonderful ability to be able to have a team that can turn it on, turn it off. But my concern would be when we face the Buffaloes or the Kansas Cities that I don't think that's going to afford us the luxury of being able to play the way we played these first 6 games. We've had the luxury of being dominant even in only playing a half a game, because really we only played 2 quarters of a game. And the past 2 games, it was the second quarter and the fourth quarter. The first and third quarters we usually take off. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that as we go on into the season and we face better teams. Fortunately, at this point, we look like the best team, but we have to be battle tested, and we have to. And I don't like to have to rely on this team turning it on, because again, I point out teams such as Buffalo and Kansas City, and I don't think that we'll have that luxury of taking quarters off. We can't take quarters off. So when we have, and we've been talking about this all year, when we have our foot on their neck, let's continue to grind their neck into the ground. I mean, let's not let up and see them. It's almost like we're playing. It's almost. Do you ever see a cat play with a mouse? Like, I mean, in real life, like, he doesn't even know he's killing it. He's playing with it, right? And then he stops. He wants to see it move, and then he goes back and he plays it. We can't do that.
You just want to kill the mouse. Kill the mouse,
immediately.
Kill the damn mouse.
Let's get this thing over.
Unless you're a full cat, because like this guy said, we haven't even opened up our playbook because we don't need to. Like, why do you need to show more when you're already destroying a team? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about it. You can come back when we go into our wasted clock mode. Everybody plays Madden. You played the game. When you go up big, you turn on waste clock, right?
Early in third
quarter, runs off that 30 seconds. If you can be that way in the NFL game because you're talented enough to be that way, like other teams don't have options to be that way. They don't have complete teams like our team is complete. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that luxury, like you said, to turn it on and turn it off whenever you want to. Like we do, because we have the talent and we haven't even played our best football. So as the season goes on and on, we're gonna get better and better at it, and it's gonna be harder for teams. We play the Minnesota Vikings. They're 5-1 right now. They're an elite team in the league right now. We played the Dallas Cowboys. They were 4-1 before we played them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a upper echelon team. And we've done it to both teams. Meaning when we play those good teams, we can still do what we want when we want to do it. And that's why we can't be fucked with.
But hey, let me ask y'all a question though, man, because this is, man, everybody on this panel right now seems like to me that they're not concerned at all, that y'all think that the Eagles could turn it on and off when they want to. But the caliber of players that we have, the mentality, the temperament of the coaches that we had, the dog mentality. So do you think that we're not going into the second half with new adjustments because we're so far up that these other teams that we're playing saying, man, we're down by 15, we're down by 20, let's make adjustments. But by that time, it's too late for us, and we're hoping that we could turn it off. I mean, is it the Eagles are trying the same exact thing they did in the first half because it worked? Or is it just like let's let them get close and then just blow them out? That makes no sense to me as an athlete. That makes zero sense to me.
I'm saying that you're seeing the other team come back because you think the other team's better, and I'm saying the other team's not better.
I never said the other team is better.
I'm just saying in your theory, you're saying
they make adjustments.
It's mad they made adjustments come back, and I'm saying it doesn't matter what adjustments they made. We're playing a different style of football, so that's the only reason why they're coming back. If we played the same way we played in the first half, they would never come back.
That makes zero.
I don't think it's a will. If you listen to our players, they're still not happy about not turning it up on a third quarter. So it's not that we don't have concerns, if you will. I'm not concerned that the talent on this team isn't up to any challenge thrown in front of them, any test. Every week on sports radio across the media pundits, this is a test. This game is a test. We passing all the tests with flying colors right now. We're 6-0. But I do think there are some execution issues in the third quarter that they would like to clean up. And yes, is it a serious concern for me? No, it's not a serious concern because I know they're going to clean it up.
Because we're up.
You know what I mean? But I think legit.
And we're not playing, like you said, our best ball yet. And I know that they're working to get better and to clean up the things that frustrate us because it frustrates them even more. So long as they keep that dog mentality in the locker room, we could say what we want to say as fans, as media personalities, you name it. But it really, long as they keep their heads on straight, that's all that matters for my team. So that, to me, that's more important. If they're still striving week by week to get better, what more can you ask for from a team? We ask so much. They're 6-0. We ask for better players. We got them. We're asking for a full game. What do you think they're working on? They talk about it every week. Jalen is pissed. Every week he's pissed for leaving money on the table, as he likes to say. So I'm not going to sit here and say that my team is not trying their hardest. I think they are lacking on the execution. I don't think they're lacking on the will or the effort, but they're definitely lacking on execution, and they may get sloppy in the third quarter, and I think that's what they have to clean up.
I like the way you think because the Dallas Cowboys thought they had one of the best defense until they met a team that were better than them, a complete offensive line that they faced for the first time, right? They were right up there, right? But all I'm saying is this. The Eagles will make the playoffs. I'm not concerned about that, right? I'm not concerned about that. But I'm tired of, only making the playoffs and losing. I've been an Eagles fan for so long. For 5 NC championships, 1 Super Bowl appearance, way in the McNabb era, and this and that. I don't want to see that. I want us to – we are that good on defense. Let's make the offense get up there with the defense because you're not always going to rely on the defense to have a 2 interception games. I think we had a turnover or sacks in every game so far. We are leading the league +8 and turnovers. Do you expect that to continue? Because the teams are going to get better. The trade deadline is coming. The Packers are going to try to find a bona fide number 1 wide receiver. The Bucks, Tom Brady came out and said it today. We're going to get better. So these teams, 6 weeks in, it's nothing to pump out our chest and say, man, we are up there and then every other team is down here. Absolutely not. The Eagles was 2-4 last year. Week 6, 2-5, week 7. We still made the playoffs. We got hot. So that's what I'm saying. My radar is going off. What do you think is going to happen when we get hot? But my radar is going off right now.
You don't sound like you believe.
You gotta believe, JC.
What do you see?
Because like you just said, all those teams gonna get better, right? But we're gonna get better too.
So we're not gonna get better.
I'm going to talk to Dante right now. I'm going to talk to Mr. Dante right now because every time I start pointing out deficiencies on the Eagles, I'm a hater. I don't believe. Look at my damn wall. Like my whole freaking body is Eagles, but I don't believe. You know what I mean? It's me saying, look, I'm not satisfied. Show me more. Like Jonathan Gannon. Everybody was like, oh my God, he's okay. I have 16 games of bad Jonathan Gannon. Show me more after 6 weeks. I'm not satisfied. I want to win the Super Bowl.
Okay,
I'm tired
Seth
of doing
Joyner.
this. Look, I'm tired of doing this.
If we listen to JC, I feel you, JC. If we listen to
No,
JC,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with him.
He's doing nothing more than echoing what our franchise quarterback echoes after every game. We're not playing up to the standard, and he's not going to rest until they are. And JC's just verbalizing that right now on this show. So I get it. That on the show, everybody, like I said, we're a team too. The fan base is a team too. And this is JC's role. JC's role is not to rest and not to relax and not to get comfortable. Now, my role is to relax and get comfortable.
Hey, Dark Knight.
Yo, I do my play-by-play in this. Past 2 games, my play-by-play was all in this. I mean, if I didn't believe in this team, ain't no way I'd be this right here. You know what I mean? I'd be undercover like the Dallas Cowboy fans be, when they, are not sure of their own team. But I'm sure of this team. I just want to see some better execution. That's it.
And because our quarterback is that way, that's why I can be the way I am. Because like you said, we do need to get better. We're going to get way better. And the way he's motivating this team to be better, I don't have to worry about it. Because the leaders in this locker room is doing their job to make sure that everybody's hungry. Our head coach is doing his job to make sure everybody's hungry. As my job as a fan and as a content creator, because if you look at the stats, our team's doing the best. You know what I'm saying? We do got the best secondary. We do got one of the best teams in the NFL. So I'm doing my job either way. But it's funner doing it now, and I do feel like I can kick my feet up because I know my team has not played their best football yet, and they are still a dominating football team. And then I look around the league, and I don't see not one team. I've been waiting. Everybody to keep saying you can't talk like this. I'm like, tell me a team that's more complete than us. Tell me one.
There's not. I'm just. I love how they
for me, but I'm delusional. But tell me a team that's more complete than us, and we haven't even played our best football yet.
I love how the Cowboys fans always come up to all the Eagles podcasts. They were all up in our grill too. They still hurt. They still butt hurt.
Hey, low-key
right
Eagle
now.
fans.
Yeah,
I know. They're probably local Eagle fans.
They like to go off the pass,
Yeah.
They like to go, well, you guys are like our little brothers because we got all these rings. Like I tell everybody,
you wouldn't have beat us.
We got one Super Bowl, but we got 4 championships. And after this year, we're gonna have 5 too. If you want to count those,
and we have a Super Bowl.
90s, I'm counting my ones in the freaking 60s, whatever.
We have a modern day Super Bowl under our belt. We don't, we have a modern day Super Bowl under our belt. Our Super Bowl is from this century. So, and their rings, I tell people when they bring up the rings, I said, your ring is not going to win the game Sunday.
Yeah.
If you want to bring all 5 of them, roll them out on the field, and let's see if those rings are going to win you the game on Sunday. And it didn't, and it wouldn't. So I know you're proud of the 5 rings, but what have you done for me lately? And that's
and if you want to talk about his history, I mean, before it was the Super Bowl, the Eagles were national champs. We've always had different eras here that we were right. Thank you.
Come on, beat the great Lombardi. We're the only team to beat Lombardi in a championship game. Are you kidding me? Come on. That counts for something.
It counts for a lot. The football history here is rich. And one thing we don't talk about a lot, we get frustrated because we want to see, that kind of Jim Johnson, Buddy Ryan defense. We get frustrated because we want to see our offense put up 40, 50 points on these teams. But we don't even give them props for not turning the ball over.
I know.
That's half the battle. We probably have the best turnover ratio in the league when it comes to our offense. Just taking care of the ball is a strategy to win games, and it may not be splashy, it may not be fun to watch, but it gets you the W.
Team in the league,
best 4th down.
Number 1, we got it.
Best QB sneak, hands down. Y'all can't come on, don't play with us.
We are plus 12 in the turnover battle, in the takeaway battle. We are plus 12. The next closest team is like plus 4, something like that. We are, head and shoulders over and leading that category. And I think that's one of the key categories on why this team is so successful. We don't turn the ball over. We don't turn the ball over, and we take the ball away, giving our offense more opportunities. Down. Do I want to see the offense do better in the second half? Yes, I do. I'm encouraged, like you, BG, that we have so much more that we can. So much more room where we can improve. We haven't even played our best game yet, and that's very scary because we have, among those 6 wins, we have a few dominant wins and only playing a half, like only playing 2 quarters of football, and those games were considered dominant. So that's what is very, very scary. But I came across something on social media. You guys tell me what you think about this, because this could be sort of related. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't recall the year, but it was in the recent past. They started off the season 10-0. Do you guys remember that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, so they started off 10-0. And then the last 5 games, I think they went 4-5.
Yeah.
Could we possibly be sitting in that type of scenario? Do we have to guard against a similar scenario?
Hell no.
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
because I think that team probably was feeling themselves like they felt like they were a complete team back then, and they were that dominant back then. Our team doesn't feel that way. The locker room doesn't even talk like that at all. They're not even tripping like that. They're one game at a time, 1-0 every week. That means that these guys are still out there grinding, and they're going to make sure. Jalen comes from a winning establishment. He's always won in Alabama. Think about when he was at Alabama. How many games did Alabama lose those years? Like
this
one?
is the NFL, bro.
In college, I'm just saying it's tradition, and we have the team to do it. Like, he's on that mindset right now. He goes, I know I can go the whole season without losing a football game because I've done it before.
So you think
he had that? A lot of these players, a lot of these good, quarterbacks in the league don't have that on their resume. Aaron Rodgers don't have that on their resume. Tom Brady don't have that on his resume.
Don't have
he was
what?
A winner then, and he's
don't have
got
what
the team
on their
to do it
resume
here in the NFL now.
What, college? You talking about college?
I'm saying the winning mentality. I told everybody that's why I'm such a huge Hurts fan.
But Big Ben won 2 Super Bowls. Tom Brady got 7. Like, that makes zero sense. Okay. Look, that makes zero sense right now because I feel like the longer you go undefeated, everybody is going to bring their best. They're going to try to knock you out. They want to be the guy, the team that says, you know what, we knocked them out. Guess what? After that first blow, the next team is going to say, what? 11-1, let's go after them. After that, it's never going to stop. That year, I believe the Steelers were 11-0. They went into that Monday night game against the Commanders, I think. It was the Washington, and got embarrassed on national TV. I think it was a COVID, year, whatever it was, and he got rescheduled. I'm telling you, they got embarrassed because every team wants to be that team that knocks you out. So you think a team with Big Ben, 2-time Super Bowl champion, going to say, oh, hey, guys, yeah, let's fill ourselves. Let's go party. We won the Super Bowl. Hell no. A team with like Hayward, their center, I think it is. You think that dude been in the league? He won a Super Bowl. So those guys are not young. They're not young. Big Ben was on his last leg. They're not going to say, hey, we feeling ourselves, this and that. No. Because the longer the season goes on, the harder it is to win games. That's just facts. Like, I mean, it's harder to win games because every team is trying to make the playoffs. And now, boom, especially if you're top dogs, yeah, they're going to come after you. So you keep on. Hey, we could only talk from our fan base, from ourselves. Well, I'm going to talk for myself. Like, yes, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is saying the same thing every week. We leave money on the field. We leave food on the field. We leave food on the field. God damn it. I'm starving already. Feed me. You know what I mean? It's time leaving food on the field. Like, when am I going to eat a full meal? Like, it's week 6 going to week 7. I know it's still early, but that's my mentality, man. I have that dog mentality, especially if you have a coach that preaching dog mentality. The second half, we have a cat mentality. Meow, go ahead, meow. Like, it's not a dog mentality because your foot is not still on their necks. You just like, hey, are you okay down there? Hey, you can breathe? No. and come on up and catch up. And then we're going to try to say, let's get back into it. That makes zero sense to me, and that's my biggest concern.
But you got to look at the coaches we got. That's the kind of mentality they're going to have. They did that all last year, too. Like, whenever they were in games, they're not that, they might teach that dog mentality, but they still go into waste clock mode,
and I think it's execution.
Go into that mode.
Yeah. And we can't negate the fact that the league is changing just from a philosophical standpoint. Look at the parity in the league. Jason Kelsey said it best on his podcast and in some interviews. It's hard these days to get a full, complete game. So even though that's what we want to see a team get up and have the second string going. That's rare. Look at these games. Look at who are only 2 and 3 win teams right now. We were going into playing the Jaguars, and PFF had them ranked in the top 10. Like week by week, it changes. The any given Sunday philosophy is in full effect right now. And we have to acknowledge that we're not getting these blowouts across the league, period. A lot of these games are going into overtime. They're going down to single digit wins, last minute wins. There's a lot of parity in the league. So that the games we'd like to see may not come right now. And shout out to all the Cowboys fans that like to hear Eagles, all the Eagles talk.
Nah, they just hate
interesting.
That's
just interesting.
Haters want to see us fall.
On BGN,
that's interesting. They low key must love us because I can't tell you. They low key must love us. I tell you, because they love the troll. Y'all got
Can I continue to play devil's advocate here? Let me expound a little bit more on the Steelers comparison. Okay, so. And this was a Steelers fan who was stating this, and they were just saying that they had that same feeling that year when they were 10-0. They felt much like we did, and what he said from his perspective, in his opinion, that the games got tougher as that. Everybody was gunning at him because that was an expected part of it. Like he said, everybody's going to be gunning, so you're going to get their best effort.
My quote, by the way, and that's me. Yo, I just quoted you.
All right,
you reading me.
That's just what happens.
Yeah,
they're going to come and give you their best effort because we're undefeated. So they got that, but he also pointed out that he thought that the schedule their early schedule were weaker, and they're strong, and the stronger part of their schedule came at the end of the year, and because he doesn't feel they were adequately tested during those first 10 games, that it was easier for when they faced the tougher talent. They just didn't. They got exposed, so to speak. And I hear where you're coming from, BG. Our team is just too strong to get exposed. But here's another point of view, right?
It's my guy right there, Dante.
Hold on, because I just told this to him, Dante. Listen, the theory I'm on is this. Last year, what happened? The Rams went and got all that talent, right? Right? And
where they at right now?
Right? But they won a Super Bowl when they went and got it. They don't have all that talent no more.
No.
OBJ's not there. Von Miller's not there. A bunch of people not there no more. But my theory is they did that last year, won Super Bowl. The year before, Tampa Bay went out and did the same thing. Went and got all that talent and brought it back, and they won a Super Bowl. So why can't, as Eagles fan, we understand that we went out and did the exact same thing? We went out and got all that talent. We did it when we won the
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but we did it then. But that talent and this talent is even different talent. We're way better this year than we were that season. We have way more talent this year. So why can't we as fans understand that we did the exact same thing? How we went over there and got all the pieces we need for this puzzle, and we can win the Super Bowl this year.
You see, BG, hey, BG, real quick, BG, they went and did that throughout the season. They were also okay, I hear you, but they were also owning both teams, the Bucks and the Rams. Were one quarterback away, just based on the talent that they already had, and then throughout the season they added more pieces. All right, so that's the thing that's the biggest difference to me.
What do you guys think?
All right, well, I know I opened up when I came on, and I said that this team has put together the talent on this team, and for the first time or the first time in about 5 years, because I think he said he did the same thing during the Super Bowl. But we're getting exactly what we paid for. All the talent that we have signed, they are playing up to their expectation. Yeah. James Bradbury is playing up to the expectation of being a Pro Bowl corner. CJ is playing up to the potential of being a top-notch safety. Hassan Reddick is playing up to the potential that we thought we were signing when we got him. Like, everybody is delivering on what we thought we were getting when we signed these players. So yes, it's very, very exciting to me. And I'm with you, BG. Don't get me wrong. I am with you. I think this roster is talented, but I am not
Dante. Go get him.
And not wait to see how this thing plays out. But today, yes, I think we have the most talented team. I think that our coaches have taken a gigantic step up from last year, because we talked about Jalen Hurts taking the next step. We talked about the success of this offense was going to depend heavily on how much Jalen Hurts improved, and he has improved tremendously over last year, and you can see that contributing to the success of this team. But we also talked about, in the shell especially, the growth of the coaches, and the coaches have taken a big step from last year, but they're not finished products, you know what I mean? And I say that on the heels of giving them a lot of credit for Sunday night's game, because that offensive scheme was phenomenal. The way they neutralized Micah Parsons. I mean, he didn't become a factor until Lane Johnson went out the game.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons was not a factor until he went out.
Non-motherfucking factor at all. Yeah. And I even had to back off on Steichen and Sirianni with the RPO. You know, I'm really anti-RPO.
As Eagle fan, we give Micah Parsons the props and say that dude's a bad man. But I always said this: no matter what, when the Eagles have one of the top offensive lines in the league, no matter what bad man was ever on the other side of the field, it never did nothing to us. It never. When we had the line, they never
got 4 sacks.
Even those years in Dallas, you know, we're all big and bad and whatever. We still stopped them when our offensive line. Our offensive lines dominate.
But the game is run in the trenches. They did, but our game is run in the trenches.
Lane Johnson went out. Like, come on. You talking about backups giving up sacks. You're not talking about starters giving up sacks.
But that's the NFL, though. That's the NFL. I mean, you can't, you know, I can't go into every game and say, you know what, if you get hurt, we're gonna run this play, and hey, you know, are you sure you're gonna be out? Yeah, no. This is the NFL. People get injured. The next man up. We gave up 4 sacks. I understand, but we got 0 sacks. All right, for a defensive line with Hassan Reddick, Hargrave, Cox, you know, BG, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, 0 sacks. Yes, 3 picks. I get that. But still, at the same time, no sacks. So that means that if we play another quarterback that was a little bit upper caliber than, you know, this bench up, what's your name?
What the hell is 4 sacks?
What did we get against Carson Wentz? He's a better quarterback. We either get sacks or we get takeaways.
Turnovers.
Turnovers. So it's like every game is not going to be a 9-sack game.
What's better, like pick or sack?
I'm pick or sack. Y'all mad at me? Y'all mad at me already?
No, I'm not mad at you. Check this out. I don't think that's a good I don't think that's a good argument, because it's either or. Like sacks, I mean, you know, the pass rush is married to the coverage, right? So you got to look at it. This was a more advantageous outcome. This was a more advantageous outcome than getting sacks. What do you want? You want to lose 15 yards, or do you want the ball to give back to your offense? You tell me what you want. I don't want to lose 15 yards. I'd rather the pass rush put the pressure on and make it hot back there and make the quarterback cause turnovers. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. So the 3 interceptions to me is better than 4 sacks. I'll take that any day.
Shout out to the tip drill.
I'll take that any day.
Tip drill,
right? Because those interceptions was a direct result of the pass rush hurrying or getting Cooper Rush out of his comfort zone. So the pass rush was still effective.
No. We've been doing all season long
against Cooper Rush.
How many games has Slay had 2 picks?
You guys are but listen, you guys are talking about aesthetics versus strategy.
Right.
That's where we part ways. Aesthetically, getting all the sacks and the picks look great, but strategically, the way they scheme that game for people like Micah Parsons, it was brilliant. They let that man run free, and he had to beat the RPO. That's why I had to back off, because I'm more of a play design chick. Like, I want to see X's and O's, Jimmy's and Joe's, as my dad liked to say, and see really schemed out and creative play design. I thought for the longest our coaches have vanilla play design, but now it turns out we're one of the top 2 offenses to run the RPO in the league. And that RPO is what got Micah Parsons off his game, because he couldn't block everybody. Once he got red, he was out of the play. So, shout out to the strategy behind winning the game that a lot of us as fans ignore. Clock management, not turning the ball over, because it's not sexy, it's not splashy. So we don't see the sacks, we don't see the picks, we get upset, we get frustrated. We want to see the sexiness, the flashiness of the plays, whether it be on defense or on offense. And we totally negate the fact that this is chess, not checkers.
And I have to echo exactly what you said.
She just dropped the mic.
Yeah, because she's
bars,
positive.
bitches, bars from the lady.
She's positive.
Yes.
Because she's all positive and flowers and roses behind her. You know what I mean?
I got flowers and roses.
Tell me the last time.
We got a bottle of liquor, though.
Here you go, JC. Tell me the last time the team with the most sacks won over the team with the most turnovers. The team with the most turnovers wins more times than not. Okay. Not the team with the most sacks.
They're facing backup quarterback.
No, I'm just talking about in general.
Matter. He was
the thing. No.
He didn't turn over the ball against 4 other games.
But the thing is,
he didn't turn over.
But we had to keep this real, though. Would Dak Prescott playing throw those 3 interceptions and not getting those sacks? Where we at now?
If we get those, we still get the interceptions.
All 3 interceptions against Dak Prescott.
Yes, I don't care. Would. I don't care who the quarterback is. When you put pressure on them, you're going to cause something to happen.
That's the name of the game.
Our secondary is lit. Our secondary is lit. Period. Yes, we haven't seen a secondary like this since Bobby Taylor and them. Real talk.
Facts.
Real talk.
That's real facts right there.
Real talk.
Look,
that's real.
Our secondary is lit. Any quarterback, come see us. Come see us. Any quarterback. Yo, Bradbury is a silent.
He's right there with Slay. He don't got the picks like Slay, but he right
there.
And
let's not discount the fact that they not only are they good standalone corners, but when you combine that with the front 7 and what they're doing and getting pressure on the quarterback, that's what makes them even more lethal. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the sacks that we're getting is as a result of the great coverage that they're playing behind them. They're getting coverage sacks too, because Bradbury and Slay lay gloves on the receivers they face. They tie them up, they lock them down, and that makes the quarterback have to hold the ball a little longer and gives our defensive line time to get there. But I'm okay with not having sacks this week. I'll take the 3 picks any day over the sacks.
It's the same thing with our offense. We got 2 picks, but they wanted more sacks. And it's like sometimes some games we got more sacks, like the 9-sack game against Carson, but not that many picks. But then, like, offensively, we want passing touchdowns, not rushing touchdowns. Like, whatever.
Now we want rushing touchdowns. We're never satisfied.
You want to get it. We win games because we can do whatever it takes to win the game. There's nothing that limits us from winning the game.
Y'all look, I think the Philadelphia Eagles, me, I'm an Eagles fan. Yes, look, I am. So don't kill me. But I think we are underestimating the quarterbacks we played so far. All right, the best quarterback we played so far has been who? Maybe Kirk Cousins, maybe. But Kirk Cousins would never been in the MVP talks, top 10 talks ever. So that's the best quarterback we played so far through week 6. And I can't call a game that we literally, was like, man, we stumped them out, and
Facts.
man, they couldn't come back. If he threw 300 yards and Eagles lost, we're good. Man, look, I get it. Yo, Dante was talking about the devil's advocate. I'm the real devil guy. I'm Lucifer. Like, I'm Lucifer, man. Put me in the, because, I don't want to get my heart broken. All right.
Oh.
I love this team so. Yes.
Now it comes out. You can't get too excited.
Not in front of the Cowboys fan.
Right, not in front of the Cowboys.
Not in front of the Cowboys fan.
No. Only because
he about to cry on the track. He about to cry on the track. No, we can't. Not in front of the.
He's trying not to be too hype. He's trying not to be too hype. I get it. A lot of fans feel that way, though. A lot of fans. We still pinching ourselves. Is our team really this good? We question this every day across the airwaves of if we could sustain this, if this is a sustainable team. And to be honest, nobody has a crystal ball. We just gonna have to let it play out and ride on it week by week and take it as a team.
It's floating right now. It's like nothing could go wrong.
My
crystal ball is like, come on down to reality. Y'all can't score in the second half. The max y'all put up was 14
that's the question. Like, JC,
the max y'all put up was 14
in the second half? Like, that's what you got to realize. Are you on the board to say we cannot score in the second half? Because I just watched the Dallas game, but when they got in 3 points, they scored at will. They had a 15-play drive, meaning they controlled the clock the whole way.
Oh, the clock management is sick on this team.
Y'all should have led with that, because I will never argue about the clock management of the field.
Andy Reid could never, and I love me, Big Red, but he could never. He could
never.
never.
A couple 9-12 play drive with Andy Reid, but man, going on 13,
like this.
16 plus.
We do this on a regular.
I agree, right? Yes, I do agree. But the whole thing with me is this, man. I forgot. What was I saying?
You don't want your heart broken. I get it.
No. Well, I went past.
Don't even be scurried. Don't be scurried.
All right, don't worry about that. JC, relax.
I'm not relaxing.
I want you
because the championship with McNabb. Like,
you're gonna miss it.
You're gonna give yourself an aneurysm by the time the playoffs get here.
Enjoy the ride. We don't know where this ride is going to take us, but thus far, it's got us at 6-0, and you're not enjoying it. We're 6-0, and you don't seem to be enjoying it. You've got to enjoy this, man. You've got to enjoy it. We don't know how long it's going to last, so you got to enjoy it.
Act like you've been there before, right?
But we haven't in a while.
We have. We
just dominated. I don't even think the
2017 was just dominated. No. We've been 6-0, 7-0 with the
2 other times. 81.
I know, only 2 times.
2005 or something. Like, I was born in 81. So that's one. And then 2000. I've only watched it 3 times in my life.
Okay, but the thing is this. We've been to 4 straight NFC Championship games. So y'all talking about relaxing? What you mean? The team
we ain't never been as dominant ever. As an Eagle fans, I've never seen us this talented.
0 sense, because the Super Bowl year was our record.
No, that year we were not this good.
What was our record?
We got better as the year went on when we started adding more pieces.
14-2 that year, I believe.
And Carson shocked us by being that guy, having an MVP type season. But 3 months before the season started, I knew that we were a dominating football team, and we were going to go wreck shop this year. 3 months before the season started.
Bergen was the same guy last year that saw his team going 17-0. Bergen, same guy this year that see his team going 17-0. So when I say Bergen, it's because I've never met a more optimistic rainbow, nothing could go wrong with the team in my life than BG31. I love my guy. I love him. But it's unrealistic.
It's realistic.
Last year, I mean, with this team that we had last year, he had a realistic.
It's being revealed every single game.
See, so that's
who
why
can beat us?
Who have beat us so well?
Who have beat us?
Look
at the schedule moving forward. What do you see? If you don't see W's,
any given Sunday. Did you see the Jets beating the Packers?
Yeah.
No,
There's
you
a
didn't.
lot of young talent, man.
Stop! You lying right now. You did.
Bryce Hall's a beast.
Stop it.
Bryce Hall's a beast. Wilson's playing some good football.
The Jets and the Giants are going to be a problem. Let's be clear. There's a lot of people are going to be
problem. I'm playing the Jets, so it's all good.
Destroy the Giants.
Listen, I'm going to be a little bit more realistic.
I see him
right here. What I'm talking about, right?
Right here.
We're sweeping the division this year. Mark it down, receipt it, whatever you want to say. I already said that a long time
I can't take him serious.
Week 1, I was saying we're sweeping the division.
If I tell you that we being the team,
they're too busy talking about Christmas Eve. Y'all might not even see our starters by then. Stop playing. Christmas Eve.
We might not even need that game.
We're not thinking about y'all. We're not thinking about December 24th.
Because if the Cowboys beat the Giants on Thanksgiving, so all we gotta do just beat the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. If that, the division is a wrap. Because we do see the Giants, after that, I think? But they are
January 8th.
But they already have 2 divisional losses against the Cowboys.
You know what gets us for
I
the Giants?
To sweep the Commanders.
You know what gets us for the Giants?
It might be a wrap.
What gets us for the Giants is they're playing some good football right now.
Yes.
We don't play them to the end of the year.
We know Saquon doesn't play a whole season. We know that for a fact. He's dominating right now. But he's not going to do this for 17 games. That's
who's dominating?
Saquon.
Saquon is dominating.
We don't see them till December, though. We don't see them till December and January.
So many times. It's because we didn't have a healthy Saquon, and they're playing great football right now. But Saquon is not going to be there by the time we play him.
Wait. Have y'all watched the Giants? Wait. I don't think y'all watched the Giants play. Y'all do not. There's no way y'all can tell me that y'all watched the Giants play and said that. They're playing some
food stamps ain't throwing no fucking.
Wait. The Giants.
I go by W's and L's.
Oh,
okay. Because that's all that matters.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's all that matters.
I'm not going with my boys.
Numbers don't lie, people do. So it's the numbers and the stats and the W and the loss column you don't get in by what the fans deem as good football. That's not how you get into the playoffs. You get into playoffs by your W and your L column, whether we like it or not.
And we got zero L's.
0 L's.
Donuts.
Is that a point where I don't even care if we lose one game right now? You know, if that mysterious game comes up and we lose it, I wouldn't even be mad. You can't be perfect all the time.
No. But they coming for us. Watch the throne. We know they all coming for the throne. We get it. But we up for the task every week. Yeah, we know they're coming at our neck week by week. It's going to just get worse. We know it. That's the best way to get our team ready for the playoffs is to have people constantly coming at our neck and battle testing us. So, we might drop a couple games here and there, but
I don't care what you think, Harville. I really don't.
If we had a team that was all confident right now, if you heard all these locker room speeches and stuff like, we're the best, everybody, we got this. We're gonna win the Super Bowl type thing. I would not be on board with it.
No team says that. I've never heard a team.
We're the team that's saying right now. Like you said, our leader Jalen Hurts says we left money on the table, and we out to get that money.
I've never heard a team says that. We play perfect. Always
all right. Speaking to JC's point about not facing top tier quarterbacks. And we're not going to be facing them in the second half of the season either, because the best quarterback we face in the rest of the way is Aaron Rodgers. And until Green Bay gets it together, I don't see him being a threat.
We beat him last year
against our front seven.
Who we beat last year? Hold on.
Didn't we beat Green Bay last year?
No.
When's the year we beat Green Bay? The year before?
With Carson Wentz, the year we start off, I believe 1-3. We had at Green Bay. We had to go to Green Bay and beat.
Okay.
Carson.
I'm not afraid of Aaron Rodgers. Is the point of this whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of him.
He's the best quarterback that we face in the remaining 11 games. I guess Dak would be probably second. We do face Matt Ryan. Quarterback. We are middle of the road quarterbacks, and as you pointed out in the first 6 games, we dominate those guys. So It looks good for us in the last 11 games. I don't see us losing 5 or more games, and if that's the case, we're going to get to 12 easy. To it may even be more than that, unless something catastrophic happens to Jalen Hurts. That's the only injury I see on this team that might slow us down. But I do like Steichen, man. I like what he's doing. And again, going back to the game plan that he laid out against the Cowboys, brilliant. So maybe if Jalen unfortunately went down, maybe he could devise something that would make Gardner Minshew look good. But I don't want to find out. So I just want any injury out there, I think we could survive. Except for Jalen Hurts. That's the only injury I'm worried. That's the only person that I think, that if he went down, I will be worried about this team. Any other, I think we could. I think we would power through that.
Next man up. Yep.
And there's a lot of good teams out there that right, but that's the difference from our team, the depth. Like we got backups playing. Like even though they might have gave up 4 sacks, when the big guys went out, they still play some good football. You know what I'm saying? Like they're good. Our Lions,
they're serviceable.
Good. Yeah, they're serviceable, and that's all we really need because we got so much talent. Our receivers alone, man. Let's talk about these guys. AJ, Devontae, Quez, Pascal's been doing good. You got Dallas Goedert out there receiving the ball. It's like these guys are unstoppable. No one has 4 good, defenders out there that can cover these guys.
I need a Quez game though. I need a Quez game.
I
need Quez to eat. I need to see Quez eat.
I need fast Batman. I need fast Batman.
Yeah. I need a fast Batman.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and I am. We don't worry about it too much, so because we're 6-0. But yeah, I would like to see him get involved. But like I said before the Sunday night game, I'm feeling comfortable enough to say, you know what, I want to see this, I want to see that. But ultimately, I trust this coaching staff. I'm starting to trust this coaching staff more. Jonathan Gannon still gets me upset when he comes out and play that pass in that zone. That still burns me the hell up. I don't know why he continues to do it. Like I just don't get his frame, his mindset of even bringing it back in. I mean, that whole scheme to me, it should be thrown out the window, never to be uncovered again. I mean, like, why? Why do you do that? Like, all right, maybe it'll work this week. Like, I don't know what he's thinking. Like, maybe it'll work this week. Maybe it'll work this week. It never works. It always lets the other team back in the game. The middle of the field is always wide open. They pointed out multiple times on Sunday, and the only reason that we weren't gouged even more was because it was Cooper Rush. But if it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, he might took complete.
Yeah, they could eat up the middle of the field.
Yeah, they eat up the middle of the field. So I don't know why he does that. That still gets under my skin. But ultimately, we're 6-0, and this defense is a top-ranked defense. Number 3 in total yards allowed, number 4 in scoring defense. So they're doing their job. And this defense feels like a dominant defense. Last year, we had a top 10 defense. And I asked people, did it feel like a top 10 defense? I was surprised that we were a top 10 defense when I looked at the stats at the end of the year. But we were. But it didn't feel like it. But this year, we're a top 5 defense, and it feels and looks like a top 5 defense.
That's right.
I'll give you credit for that.
We get defensive player of the week like every week.
We get right?
Hey, tomorrow, guess who's going to be defense player of the week?
CGJ. That's right.
And that's the difference, with this team. It's just like they're just legit all over the board, man. Like straight legit. Like you can't even argue the depth. You can't even argue the. Think about guys like even like Nakobe Dean. He hasn't even hit the field yet. And we know he's gonna be a big dog when he gets out there, but he doesn't even need to be out there right now. Like we got people in the wings waiting to play. You know what I'm saying? So that's that back half of the season when you start getting those key injuries is when these guys going to come in. They're going to step in and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we have it so perfectly constructed right now that it's going to, like I said, it's going to be hard to stop us. And the only reason why I think we gave up so much yards in the middle of the field last week was just because, we sold out on the run. Because we knew that that was going to be the thing that really hurt us. They were winning football games from running the football. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we knew we had to sell out on the run to stop them. And that's what we did. So yeah, there was some open middle of the field type
That's
plays, but
right.
other than that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we did our job and we won the football game. So the technique worked. You know, we're gonna give up something like there's never gonna be a perfect game where we're shutting out offense. You know, we're dominating on offense, we're shutting out the other offense, and then just like, oh, here we go. You know, 40-7. This ain't college, like you guys said. These are professionals that get paid big money. And you know what I'm saying? And every team that we thought last year was sorry is looking a lot better this year. Every team that was dominating last year is not looking as good this year. You know?
Yeah, we don't know who we're going to play week by week. We may have a schedule, but we don't know what team we're getting. We really don't at this point. I mean, look, who would think the Rams and Arizona would have the records they have? Who would think Brady and Aaron Rodgers would only be 500? I didn't think that.
I'm sure.
No.
Well, how about this? How about this perspective, right? This team is great, and I talked about this in training camp, coming out of training camp. This team is bettering themselves by practicing with themselves. Think about it. We've heard you come out of training camps, right, and you hear reports, oh, the receivers looking good this year, the receivers looking good, and then you get all hyped up the season coming, you be like, man, receivers trash. Well, we were hearing those reports, but our receivers were going up against cornerbacks in practice that were trash. So if they were trash, then they really weren't getting a true test of how good they were. Well, guess what? We've got Pro Bowl cornerbacks that they're practicing against, and the cornerbacks are playing against top-notch receivers. Iron is sharpening iron here. The defensive line, as ferocious as they are, they're going every day against a top-notch offensive line and vice versa. So this team is getting better just by practicing against each other, and that may be a better test than the teams we're facing. We're not facing teams with the same caliber offensive line that we have. Our offensive line is not facing teams with the same caliber of defense that they're facing in practice. Our offense is not facing teams with the same caliber of cornerbacks that they're facing in practice. So this team is helping itself by iron sharpening iron just by going up against each other. So don't discount that, JC. I'm just trying to open up the clouds so a gleam of sunlight can come down and shine on JC so he won't see it as cloudy and rainy all the time.
And don't discount the NFC East. Don't discount the NFC East. We are the beast this year. We're no longer an NFC least. We're back into greatness where we were. We're battle testing ourselves just within our division. And all of the division 24th. Games are going to be key. Yeah,
I'll let y'all know December 24th when we face Dak Prescott.
Dallas can't be the only litmus test. Dak Prescott is not the only good quarterback in the league.
Because they were the team that demolished us last year. That is our, you know what? Regardless
that's personal, though. That's personal.
No, it's not personal. It's not personal.
I'm with him on that one.
Hold on. No, it's not personal. It's not personal at all. What other team in the NFC East beat us or demolish us with all their starting, players than the Dallas Cowboys? So, yes, I understand we beat them at Philly, right? We let them kind of back in the game. Would you let Dak Prescott back in the game? So that's what we don't realize. Like these games, especially last Sunday, God, I was so hyped, man. If you're not watching me, man, I almost lost my voice. I'm like, we are whooping that ass. And I was like, come on, God damn it, defense. Come on, defense. Like, I'm going like I have Tourette's on this damn live stream because I'm screaming every second because we let Cooper rush. A backup quarterback. He's not Nick Foles. Yes, and before we all said we won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, Cooper Rush is not Nick Foles and not on the same team. We let Cooper Rush walk us down. I understand y'all say that we took our foot off the throttle and all this stuff, but come on, man. Come on now. Come on. You have to look at this and say, yo, would we do the same thing with a Dak Prescott at quarterback, especially when he's 6-4 record against Philadelphia Eagles, 7-3 against Philadelphia Eagles as a starter. So we can't take that lightly. But y'all seems to be like, yo, this is a lock. We are so much better.
That's BG. It's definitely not a lock. None of this is a lock. I already started saying any given Sunday. This league, nothing is a lock in this league right now. That's what I want to get across. We're not a lock. Brady's not a lock. Rodgers not a lock, and neither is Dak Prescott. Nobody's a lock right now. That's my point. Yeah, so we got to take it as we can get it. Nobody's a lock. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know who we're going to face. And I'm not going to say, yes, we have to get the Dak monkey off our back, but Dak is not going to be the litmus test for how well this team does. Okay, so say we beat Dak, then what? Are we going to be satisfied? Probably not.
No, it's not about being satisfied. It's about taking down, in my opinion, our biggest threat in the division, right? In the division, we took down all healthy with Dak, with Lamb, with Gallup, this and that. Because I think that the best teams in the NFC are in the NFC East.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Agreed.
So now you take down your division. Now you can be like, oh boy, okay. Now we start like, oh shoot, we got this, because we saw how the Giants slayed the big green Packers and slayed the Ravens. The Ravens, they're gonna make the playoffs, in my opinion. But they beat them. So I'm just saying, I just need to see more. And I just need to see a better quarterback the best quarterback that we can say right now is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I agree. But let me go back and make a correction, because you were like, we let Cooper Rush do this. We let Cooper.
Yes, we did.
We let Cooper. All right, so I'm looking at the line here. So we let Cooper Rush complete 47% of his passes, under 50%. We let Cooper Rush.
Go to the second half. The second half, please.
This is the whole game.
We got to look at the whole game. We got to look at the big picture.
No, we can't. Because my whole argument is the second half. I'm not talking about the first half. I've never said anything about the Eagles the first half. Never.
So you don't want to see the whole game. You just want to focus on the second half.
Exactly.
Let me just clarify. You gave a snapshot.
The game.
Your snapshot said we let Cooper Rush do this. It was like a full picture snapshot. So you meant to say that we allow Cooper Rush a stretch in the game to be hot.
So you just want to talk about that stretch.
So if you want to talk about that stretch, we can talk about that.
I want to talk about the
because that minimizes what you're saying. So we had a lapse in a stretch of a game. So in a period of time in the third quarter, we allowed. Let me finish. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
So in the stretch of the game, we allowed Cooper Rush to have a hot streak. In a portion of one quarter, we allowed Cooper Rush to look good.
1 quarter?
Yes, 1 quarter.
What are you talking about?
We had the ball majority of the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, the fourth quarter, we have the ball.
So we allowed this backup quarterback to flash in a portion of 1 quarter. But overall, he had a 37 quarterback rating. He threw the ball to us almost as much as he threw it to his own team. 3 times he gave us picks. So he did not have a great game. We did do what we're supposed to do against a quarterback of his caliber. We dominated him. We made him look bad. That's what we're supposed to do. I have to, and I said this to Cowboys fans today too. Like in hindsight, when you look back at it, I'm gonna use your own excuses for you, right? So you didn't have your starting, you didn't have Dak. You had your backup quarterback, and you were coming in to our home. What the fuck did you expect to happen? And we're playing, and we're the best team.
A blowout!
We beat them soundly. We beat them soundly, dude. We did beat them soundly.
6
yes,
points?
it was soundly. When, like BG said, when it's time to turn the switch on, we did exactly that. And that was it. It was like, all right, that was cute. Let's go down, get this touchdown, and put this game away. And that's a luxury that not every team has. But we've done it 2 weeks in a row. This is not the first week. We did it last week too. When we did that drive in the Cardinals game, we held the ball for damn near 8 minutes. This time we held it 6 minutes. So our offense is very, very efficient when need be. Now, I am concerned because I want it to be more consistent, just like Jalen Hurts does. I want it to be more consistent. I want to not leave as much food out there as we've been leaving. So,
I would have loved a blowout.
I'm
Don't
very
get it
optimistic
twisted.
that can happen.
Right?
I would have loved a blowout. I mean, I don't think anybody's saying they wouldn't love to watch us blow the Cowboys out. That's not it at all. That's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is that's how they won. Period.
And that's
it's not that we wouldn't want to see a blowout, but that's just not how they won.
Richie,
but he's never had. The point is not the competition; it's the point of playing a complete game. Okay. No team in the NFL has played 4 quarters of dominance.
Jason Kelsey said it. He said it's hard to put together a 4-quarter game in this league because of how much talent is out there right now. So
look at that's
from the players.
Okay, cool. I understand that. So look at the first half stats. Eagles on offense and second half stats. Eagles are one of the worst teams in the NFL.
26.
One of the worst teams in the NFL in second half scoring. But y'all boasting about a one quarter in the first half that we are number one. We have scored going into that Cowboys game. Going into the Cowboys game, the Eagles were the number one. They outscored 17 other teams in the whole season so far. In only one quarter, they outscored 17, including the Dallas Cowboys, right? Outscored them. But in second half, they are almost like bottom 5 in scoring in the second half.
I think they're 26 or 27th, actually.
It's scoring what? Like under
in the second
9
half.
points a game? 9
in the
points
second
a game?
half. I don't think they're the bottom 5, but yeah, they have work to do.
And the only double-digit scoring they did was against the Lions, 14 points. After that, 6, 9, 3, 6. Tell me that is okay with y'all. Tell me.
I'm telling
if I get the W,
you realize one thing too. One thing you're not realizing is the fact that our second
I don't give a
quarter,
damn about subs, man. Yo, I don't give a damn about subs, man. Yo, I didn't join this for subs. I joined this for me to express my feelings. If y'all don't like real talk, again, I don't give Hey, y'all must unsubscribe right now because I'm not a 20-year-old guy. I'm a realistic guy.
We score in the second quarter is a huge margin.
See, you keep going back to second quarter, man.
Lead the league
in 60 minutes.
14. We're putting like 20, 30 points up in the second quarter. Like that's dominating.
Yeah,
dominating no matter
the
what.
Ravens lost.
If you can do
the
that,
Ravens was up 25 on the Dolphins, which were a good offense with Tyreek Hill, with Waddle, with Tua. There was about 25.
But what's the Dolphins record?
No, because Tua got hurt. What week 3? He got a concussion. So no, do not do that. Do not disrespect
what's the record, JC?
Let me
the Cowboys managed to do it with their backup.
We still next man up.
Wait. But the Dolphins are on the 4th backup quarterback. We're
on the 4th offensive lineman.
4th? Are they really?
Yes, damn. Thompson got hurt last game.
Oh, yeah, I'm not following that. Damn, that's horrible.
Yo, I watch football for a living. That's what I do. So I'm telling you right now, the Dolphins were undefeated before Tua went down. They were undefeated. Tua and Hurts was MVP conversation. 2 Alabama guys.
I remember that week too.
Yeah, and then boom, Tua went down. If Tua did not go down, they would have beat the Bengals. They would have been undefeated because the way the game was going, they were so close. Mm-hmm. Tua went down. They were still close. With Teddy Bridgewater, no offense snap all week. I'm telling you right now. Look, I'm not just saying this, just to say this. I'm telling you right now, watching these teams, watching these games, doing play-by-play. I've done what? 15 already, and this is week 6. I've literally done Thursday game, Sunday night game, Monday night game, Eagles game. Every Eagles game, unless I'm at the game, I'm watching these games. So I'm not just just saying like, oh my God, this game. No, I'm actually watching these games every snap, calling from the 1 yard line to the 5 yard line, and some of these guys are actually on my live stream. So I'm not just just to talk. I'm just letting you know that I'm not like what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So there are good teams out there, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
All right, I need to come on your live stream then. If you on live stream on the game days talking
absolutely
talking this doubt and
no. I'm actually doing play-by-play Leshy, looking at the film. Let's say first and 10 from the 25. God damn it, Hurts! Why are you doing it? Like, this is how I am on my live stream, man. Ask anybody. I'm jumping up and down. I'm all strictly Eagles.
All right, bring me on. I need to be on game day. Absolutely. All right, we'll be the new Joe Buck and Troy Aikman black version. All right, let's do it.
I like that. Absolutely.
First off, shout out to everybody in there. We're still rocking with 26 in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Are the Eagles the best team in the NFL? That's the poll question on my chat. We got 75% saying yes out of 70 people that the Eagles are the best team in the NFL, with 25% saying no. What do you guys think?
This week they are. This week they are. That changes week by week. It really does. Like this whole who's the best team in the NFL, strength of schedule, that goalpost moves every Thursday and Sunday. Real talk. This week they are. They may not be in 3 weeks, but this week they are. And that's all I can say about that. Any given Sunday is the law of the land right now. Like you said, Tua went down. He came back and they're balling again. We don't know what is going to happen and who's actually going to end up being the best at the end of this season.
He wasn't even dressed, dummy. He wasn't even dressed. But go ahead.
All right. Yeah.
My bad. You're not writing these comments. Sorry.
All right. So JC, you just fucked it all up, JC.
I'm sorry, man. My bad, man. You're my bad, brother.
We on a bye week. Man. We on a bye week. We supposed to be celebrating, laying back.
I know. This is heavy for a bye week. I'm what's like, this is kind of heavy.
Came off a win over the Cowboys. I can't even go. Now I'm gonna be tossing and turning in bed tonight. I thought we was cool until we faced Pittsburgh, but now I'm gonna be waking up in the middle of the night like, oh my God, we gotta score in the second half. We gotta score in the second half. We're not scoring in the second half. I can't sleep. Look,
y'all better not get your blood pressure up. You know that's a problem in our community. Y'all better keep your blood pressure down.
This is an honest truth. I do not sleep during football season. I already have anxiety, PTSD, all this stuff going on.
We got some dispensaries over here in Jersey for that.
I'm from Jersey. I grew up in Jersey from Trenton. You know what I mean? I grew up in Jersey, man. You know what I mean? So I'm all about Jersey. That's why I'm a Nets fan. You know what I mean?
You might need an edible, JC. You might need an edible. Right?
I work for the government, man. I can't do that.
All right.
That's why he's so high.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. There you go.
Stop it.
The government got them stressed out. You gotta chill.
Right?
We're 6-0. Our team is 6-0, and I'm glad you guys are tuned in. But don't let JC's the sky is falling attitude, color, or paint the picture for you during this bye week. Our team is 6-0. We're the top team in the league right now. Definitely top team in the NFC. And the future schedule looks to be in our favor, barring any type of catastrophic injuries or whatever. So feel good about not having to, because to me, and for you guys too, because every Sunday is like we're working, right? So we don't have to work this Sunday, and I want to relax, and I'm going to relax regardless of what JC is telling me. I'm going to relax this Sunday while my team rests on a 6-0 start beyond my most optimistic outlook on the season. I did not expect us to be 6-0.
No, Dante, you were calling for losses. I'm not going to let you slide on that one. You said we were going to lose to the Vikings. And
hold on. And I did, and I apologized for that. But
he did apologize, though.
Whatever person on this stream here that they're live, whatever person on this stream here had the Eagles going 17-0, please raise your hand.
Bird game
had them going 17-0. All right, well,
that's false though. That's false, but
I always say.
So if anybody had them less than 17-0, you ultimately was picking the Eagles to lose also.
Well, not to the Vikings.
17.
Not to the Vikings. Not to the Vikings.
Who are these people? What? So it had to be
Cardinals?
5 losses somewhere.
Yes, because upset game. Eagles are horrible.
Trap game.
Quarterbacks. You know what I mean? A big game against Doug Peterson before. Cowboys week the next week. It was a letdown week. I did have the Eagles going into the bye 5-1.
We are killing former players and former coaches, though. We are chopping them down one by one. It's like I feel like every team should have a former player or a coach on it, and we can run the table.
That right there, I'm like, you know what? I'm defeated because the Eagles, the players, the Philly. Once you leave Philly, oh my God, we no longer love you. You are the enemy, and we are coming after your neck.
Until after the game, then we're going to hug you after.
Yeah. Then we're going to hug you. But man, Doug Pearson, I'm so happy that he didn't get booed, man. Shout out to.
We love Doug. Come on. He got a standing O.
The first lady got booed.
You know what that was all about. That tells you where Philly is and what kind of culture we have here. That tells us, and that's been a long time Philadelphia culture from the Jackie Robinson days. So let's be clear on the culture around Philadelphia is not always friendly to certain types of people. So don't let the diversity fool you. There's some issues here. We definitely got some issues and some people here that don't really try and make our community better.
Then that will be like the third most important incident that ever happened, right? We threw batteries and snowballs at Santa Claus. We booed the first lady. We got a jail under the stadium. I'm like, what? A jail? Well,
that was under the vet. I don't think there's a jail in the new lane. That was under the vet.
Stupid shit up like that. You know what I mean? So
they do. Yeah, I thought that was classless. That was a classless showing. That to me, that was worse than throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. That was
absolutely
that. So the lack of class and the Eagles fans that I don't really bang with. Because they don't really bang with me.
Facts.
Right.
So Dante, I mean, wait, Coach. Hold on. Your BG, your Dante never answered your question.
Which one?
Are the Eagles the best team, right?
I need both of you guys to answer it.
Yes, they are the best team.
I answered it.
Today, they are the best team. They're the best team today.
Okay, so I would say no.
Oh, man.
Who's the best team? The Bills?
The Bills.
Who's the best team in the NFC?
Well, see, that was in the question. The question was the NFL. But the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Absolutely.
But the best team is the Bills. I agree with that.
Yeah, the best
I agree with that. Yeah,
I don't think the Bills are even better than us. Y'all tripping.
See, this is why I can't. This is why I can't do this. This is driving me nuts. This is why.
I'm never gonna say the Bills are better.
There's nothing negative that's ever bad with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I give them that last.
I know you ain't talking Philly Cowboys fans. Y'all would try it. Y'all would try and kidnap the first lady down in Texas. Don't get it twisted. We know where these people play and live.
Exactly.
Y'all would do more than boo the first lady down in Texas. She would need extra security.
extra security. You know what
Hey,
I mean?
much love to all you guys for rocking
Y'all
with
do
us right
trash at
now.
that.
We got our third guest coming on the building. You guys are more than welcome to stay. Let's keep talking this Eagles football. You know what I'm saying? But it's my boy, executive of social media with the Philadelphia Eagles himself,
Oh,
Mr. Chris
McPHERSON.
McPherson is in the building.
Chris.
And let's get him on stage, man.
Okay.
What up, Chris?
What's up? What's up, BG? What's up, everyone?
Chris,
Let's go.
what's up? What's up, Chris?
The team must be
Let's
6-0. If I'm getting this kind of welcome. Let me make well. First thing, BG, I have nothing to do with the social media. That's a completely different crew, but they do obviously an outstanding job, and they're having a ton of fun with the way this season has gone so far. So I cannot take any credit for what you see on the social media channels. But nonetheless, though, it's heck of a ride so far. I'm telling you, the energy in the building has been outstanding. Seeing the guys come in yesterday on the off day has just been absolutely amazing because you see the bond that the guys have, and even though it's the bye week, that they just want to keep on working and keep on improving, and turn a page and look forward to the Steelers matchup in less than 2 weeks here.
And what is it that you do? Did I mess it up?
You're all good. Basically oversee the website, the app. Obviously, you've been reporting on the team for almost 2 decades now, so just basically taking you guys inside the team as much as possible. So
there you go. That's good enough, man. So, Chris, tell me about the Cowboys game. How you like it?
Tell you about the Cowboys game. The biggest thing is this team has found a way to execute in the clutch. That's the thing I love about this team is a couple of things. One, the fact that the defense has been outstanding again, turnovers this season. 14 turnovers this season they've generated. C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the 2 picks the other night, Slay with the great anticipation to get the 3rd interception for this team. But the thing is, the offense then turns those into points. It's been a great way that they've been playing complementary football this season. And the fact that the Cowboys climbed their way back into the game and made it much closer than I'm sure fans wanted it to be. But nonetheless, though, that 4th quarter drive, when they need something in the clutch, we saw it against Arizona the week before to get the game-winning field goal. We saw it here. It's when they need a drive to pretty much, finish off the opposition, they find a way to get it done, and this is something that's going to be able to carry over, when we get to November and December and the playoff chase really gets going is, they just find ways to execute when it matters the most. It's not going to be a situation where, they've been blowing out teams and they don't know how to handle close games. No, this team knows that even though they've had comfortable leads and allowed teams to come back, they find ways to finish the job. So obviously, give all the credit to them for being able to take care of it. So every game has been different. There's different ways that teams have attacked the Eagles. There's different challenges that the Eagles have been through, but they've overcome everything. And I'll tell you, being in that locker room after the game, it was like they already had turned the page and were ready to move on to the next game because they're happy being 6-0, but the guys in the locker room, a lot of the guys who have been there for the Super Bowl run, there's so much left to happen. Okay, we're all excited. We're all juiced that they're 6-0, first place in NFC at this point. But, quite honestly, it's a marathon. There's still a lot of football left to be played. And I think it was Kelsey who said it best. He's like, look, we got to make sure that we are, at peak condition for the playoff run. We got to be firing on all cylinders come week 16, 17, and 18 as you're getting into the postseason there. So that's what they're trying to climb towards. You're trying to stack the wins now to get yourself in position. And obviously with the Cowboys being 4-2, the Giants only 1 loss, it's a much tougher NFC East than I think anyone imagined to this point. But the thing is, there's still a lot that's got to take place between now and the end of this season for this team to ultimately achieve their goals. AJ Brown in the locker room, 6-0, 6 is just a number at this point. Like, these guys want to win. They want to win big. They're not concerned about, the early starts of the season or a division title. Obviously that stuff's going to be nice, but these guys are thinking bigger, but they understand that it's a process to be able to get to where they want to get to ultimately in the end.
I am a big fan of Jalen Hurts. We all said that we need to see him take a huge step this year for this team to be successful. I think he's done that thus far in the season. Gigantic step. Another aspect of what I like about him, and you just talked about just a little bit, is the fact that he's not comfortable even at 6-0. And I think that Sirianni also does a great job at letting the team know that the job's not done. It's a 17-round fight, right? He mentions that a lot of times, and we're only in the 6th round. How inside the building, how is that feeling, resonating to the whole team?
I love Jalen. I'm such a fan of him as a person. I think he's got the right makeup, the right mentality for this city, for this organization. He's the right guy at the right time. And I love the videos of him breaking down the team at the end of games, because you can see how all the players are drawn to him. Okay. It's one thing to be, a captain because you're a quarterback and that's supposed to be the leadership position. But you look at the way the guys follow him, they lean on every word that he says, and he's just so authentic in who he is. And he is not satisfied. And he sets that example that, okay, look, if I'm not going to be happy with the way things have gone, and he's played at an MVP level. He was the offensive player of the month for September. And if he's not satisfied with that, being, individual, he understands as a team, it's basically a team award when he gets that type of stuff. But if he's not happy with that, these other guys aren't, the Kelseys of the world, the guys on defense, Darius Slay, when it was interesting when they first acquired him, because you said, well, he's a guy who came from Detroit and never won. So you're like, is this going to be a guy who can help develop a winning culture? And his leadership has gone very much under the radar. And that's why when he was voted a captain this year, he was emotional. He was to the point of tears about it, because it is something that he understands what that means for his teammates to look at him and to say that he's worthy of wearing the C on that chest, to have that leadership, to have other guys like Brandon Graham and Fletch who have been through the battles in the past. I thought Coach Sirianni, I don't know if you guys saw the video that we put out on the social media channels, but it was during the team meeting at the beginning of the week, he put up that Beat Dallas t-shirt that he wore last season when the Cowboys trounced the Eagles, just embarrassed the Eagles down in Dallas. It was Jalen's arguably his worst start. Just overall, it was a complete embarrassment. And Coach Sirianni realized, look, I approached it the wrong way. He was like, I wanted to embrace the rivalry, make it bigger than it is. And it's like, no, like we got to just worry about ourselves. We got to focus on our improvement every day. And then everything else from there will take care of itself. I think that's the biggest way that it's resonated. It's, once the Eagles won the week before in Arizona, early in the week, the message throughout the organization was stop with the record talk. We don't want to hear about 5-0. We don't want to hear we're undefeated. It's like, it's just focus on what you need to do to take care of business this upcoming week. That's the biggest thing about it. And as long as they keep improving, and, it goes back to that scene that I saw in the cafeteria on Monday where it's like, and it's not, you go in the cafeteria and it's like, it's guys from different position groups, mingling together and hanging out and bonding and wanting to be there. And it just reminds me of the vibe when, I've been here with this team through the peak of the Andy Reid years, here, obviously, when they went to the Super Bowl in 2017 and won it, you just get a vibe amongst the guys in the locker room that it's like, this is a place that you want to be, even on an off day, even on a time when you're, supposed to be thinking about the bye. It's like, no, like the guys, I think, would actually prefer, injury wise, they want to get the rest. But quite honestly, I think they wish they were still playing and they wish they had that bye a little bit later on. But, they're going to deal with the card that's been dealt to them. And, they'll take this week, they'll get their rest, they'll get away for a little bit. And then they're going to get the chance to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. A 1:00 game at the Link. There's not going to be too many 1:00 games at the Link for the remainder of the season here. So I think them and the fans are going to definitely embrace it.
And one of the biggest debates we've had today, Chris, is the first half versus the second half. I want to hit your take on that. You know what I'm saying? Because some say, we don't need to do that much in the second half. We can turn the light switch on and off when we want to. Is it a concern for you? Being in that locker room, hearing what the guys talk about.
No, I think they know they want to finish the deal. they know that they want it when they get up 20-3 on teams. They want to they don't want these games to be, one possession games in the fourth quarter. I think the challenge from a defensive standpoint, because a lot of people figure out, think about the defense and what's going on with the defense there. Again, at the end of the day, this defense gave up 17 points to Dallas. And this was an offense, the Eagles offense scored. This was, again, the Dallas defense had not allowed more than 19 points, and this Eagles team got 20 in the first half. So, this Dallas team, it's not like, they only beat this team, that team, whatever. They faced both Super Bowl quarterbacks from last year, Burrow and Stafford, and Tom Brady. So it's, they've had some quality competition this season. I think the challenge for Gannon and the defense is when you're up 20-3, you say, okay, are we going to keep, bringing the pressure or doing what we did? But the problem is you are more likely, or you put yourself in a situation where you can give up an explosive play. And as we saw the other night, the turning point in that game was that big kickoff return. One big play really shifted the momentum of that game, and the Cowboys were able to capitalize. If Gannon's defense goes out there after, say, 3 and out and gives up, a 75-yard touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb, you really suck the energy out of the building, and you really give the Cowboys confidence, and you really, it's a whole, top to bottom, it's just the worst feeling that you could have. If they go down the field, I know a lot of people have been getting on Fletcher Cox and the run defense. Well, I think pretty much Gannon is saying we're going to stop the pass. We're going to make sure we're not going to get beat deep over the top in these situations. All right, so we're going to be light in the box. Teams are going to be able to probably run a little more. But guess what? If you're going to be satisfied taking 5 yards here, 6 yards there, 7 yards there, you're probably eating 6-7 minutes of the clock. And, okay, maybe you score. All right, well, we're still up by 2 possessions, and we're now midway or late in the quarter, and you didn't have that explosive play that not only got you the points quickly, that also, from a momentum standpoint, really got things going in your favor. And I think that's the biggest challenge there. The offensive execution, like I said, when they've had to have it, they've been able to do it, and they've really relied on the strength of that offensive line and that rushing attack. And that offensive line, Jordan Mailata was a soldier battling through. He was banged up after the game. He talked about how tough it was with the injury, but the Cowboys, you got to be out there. Driscoll going from left tackle the week before to right tackle for Lane, and you're losing Lane, who's arguably the best right tackle in football. For this offensive line to almost not miss a beat with these guys ailing and coming in and out of the lineup. Dickerson was in and out of the lineup. Suopet had to go back in there. They're finding the ways to get it done late. And you feel the reason you should feel good as an Eagles fan is because of the fact that they can win in a variety of ways. They can win with the run game. They can beat you with the pass game if need be. It's whatever they need. I mean, you go back to that huge 13-play touchdown drive that ended with the touchdown to Devontae. It was pretty much run, except the one shovel pass to Miles. Oh, all of a sudden, we need a pass play. Well, who do we get it to? We just get the ball to A.J. Brown. Okay, he's going to be a defender. The first guy never takes him down. And then, the beauty of the touchdown play was basically if you go back to the first touchdown, or I should say the touchdown earlier to A.J. Brown, where it was basically they put Micah Parsons in a conflict, and it was like Micah Parsons had to decide, who am I defending? And A.J. Brown gets left wide open. Well, they said this time they see the receiver who was, I think Dallas was in the flat. Well, Dallas ain't going to beat us. We're not going to do that. Oh, well, all of a sudden, guess who just slipped behind you for the touchdown? It was Devontae. So the biggest thing is, yes, obviously they want to figure out ways to close games. And that's why Coach Sirianni had that talk with Tony Dungy, because he had so much success in his career in once you get up. But you look around the league, I mean, what did the Ravens give up against, to the Dolphins? The bigger cushion they did. You're seeing teams get up early. It's almost like the NBA. You see teams get up early and they find ways the other team's going to climb their way back in. Well, the Eagles have been able to, okay, maybe we let them get back in, but they don't get the lead and we're able to finish. We're able to get the job done. And not every team has been able to accomplish that this year. That's obviously why the Eagles, one of the many reasons why this team is 6-0 and everyone else is coming up from the rear.
Are the Eagles the best team in football right now?
I mean, I think they've been the best team every week they won on the field against their opponent, which is really, quite honestly, the most important thing. You guys can debate, is it the Bills, the Chiefs, whomever? The one thing that that you should be happy about is if you look at most of the power rankings at this point, you're going to see the Cowboys still up top 10, top 7 on most of them. You see the Vikings are cracking the top 5. These are teams the Eagles have beat. Okay, last year, I remember all the criticism was, well, the Eagles won 9 games, but, look at who they beat. They beat up on the bad team in the division. They beat on the Jets, the lower teams. Well, I mean, all of a sudden here, okay, they're beating quality opposition to get where they're at. So when we can have fun and look down the line, and it's like, okay, Bills, Chiefs. Well, if you get to the Super Bowl, it's only gonna be one team you got to worry about at that point. But the Eagles being 6-0 have just really put themselves. I mean, obviously, you want to try to get the bye, you want to get the home field advantage. The biggest thing is, can this team remain healthy for the stretch run? That's quite honestly, that's the biggest thing. You've seen Jalen take the next step. Gannon and the defense have taken the next step. You've seen how AJ Brown's fit into the offense. Everything that all the questions we had about this offseason have all turned out positive for the Eagles so far. All the offseason acquisitions have been outstanding. Jordan Davis is coming in and he's making his impact. You're getting contributions all up and down the roster. The biggest thing is, can they keep this going? And really the only thing that would at this point derail it would be some kind of significant injury. So, I know we want to get caught up in, okay, it's going to be the Steelers and the Texans and whoever's going to be down the line here. The Steelers knocked off the Bucks. I mean, we can't just overlook these teams, and we don't know what, this team or that team is going to look like 2 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now. So, I mean, the biggest thing is, and I think it just goes to the messaging that Coach Sirianni has had and the captains of this team has had, is just focus on themselves and don't get caught up in, the rivalry week. They love that the fans are into it, and that's what it's for. That stadium atmosphere was the most electric that I've seen since the playoff run. Okay, since the NFC Championship game. I mean, I knew about the Meek performance, and it's one of those things. And I remember the coach. So coach knew of it, but it was coach's decision whether to tell the players or not. He decided not to, so the players were surprised. Fans were obviously surprised, but everyone was already in their seats. The atmosphere was already electric. It was just phenomenal, and for the way that they came out of the gate, getting up 20-0, just you felt like that place was shaking. So, I mean, the vibe in Philly right now with all the sports teams, the Phillies are on now, Sixers are on now, Flyers are going. Like, it's an amazing time to be a sports fan, a Philly sports fan here. It's it's the reason I wanted to be in the area, come to the area, was just because you knew how great this city was when it came to sports, and we are seeing it on full display right now.
Hey, Chris. Hey, look, man, big fan of yours. Hey, you already know that, man. Hey, if you're behind, ahead, of the whole production, I don't care. A big fan of yours. I love your knowledge of the game. But let me ask you a question. The Eagles currently, the NFL draft order right now, the top 10, you have the Lions. We beat, right? We're going to face the Saints down the road, but they are currently number 5. The Steelers are currently number 8 in the draft order. The Cardinals, we beat, are number 9. The Jacksonville Jaguars are number 10. So for those out there that's saying, hey, the Eagles are beating a lot of teams that are picking in the top 10 or going to play teams that are picking in the top 10, what do you have to say to this? How good is this Philadelphia Eagles teams as a whole, especially giving leads in the second half up double digits? I know you said that, hey, we turn on when we need to, but man, like a dog mentality, you have a team down, you step on their neck and you go for the jugular and take them out. So what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, I basically already touched on the fact that they understand that that's the one area that they want to fix here coming out of the bye. Is why is that happening? But again, at the end, just when you look at this team, what's the weakness? That's the biggest thing. And because I guess you're talking about like, who have they beaten any good teams? I mean, they dismantled the Vikings. Okay, the Vikings are a very good football team. Cowboys, okay, it's like the Cowboys fans are now saying, well, it was our backup quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys were all saying a week ago that maybe he should be the starter over Dak. Okay, and he was 4-0. I mean, he was playing. It was interesting because when I went back, when I was starting to research the Cowboys, and it was like, okay, they're beating the Rams, and the defense has been impressive, and no question the defense has been outstanding with Dan Quinn, and Micah Parsons is going to be a player of the year on the defensive side of the ball at some point here. Okay, but when you looked at that offense, you said there's no explosion on that offense. They're basically playing ball control. Don't let Cooper Rush get into any mistakes. My biggest thing was going into the game on Sunday night, as long as the offensive line and Jalen Hurts don't screw this up, Eagles will win this game. Okay. Yeah. They've got they win both lines of scrimmage. Bottom line is Eagles should win this game as long as there's no turnovers and you don't have any fluke plays, kickoff return for a touchdown. As long as those types of things don't happen, they're going to be the more complete football team. Okay. The biggest thing with the Cowboys again was the defense was keeping it close. The offense was doing just enough. This Eagles offense can win any type of game possible. They can put up points. They want to shoot out against the Lions in week 1. Okay, they were able to put up points at will. They can have a staunch defensive effort if they need to. They can play ball control and eat up 7 minutes of clock in the fourth quarter. They can force turnovers. They convert those into points. It's like they don't turn the ball over. Plus 12, turnover ratio at this point of the year. It's been absolutely sensational, and it's one of those things that hopefully they'll be able to keep up here, in the second half of the season as we continue here. Because it's hard to, turn out those turnovers at such a high rate, but the fact they turn those into points is just one of the many reasons that they are 6-0 and have been as good as they have. But to me, it's just there's no significant weakness to this football team. You don't look at this team and say, offensive line's outstanding, quarterback's playing at MVP level. You've got 2 stud receivers in Smith and AJ Brown. You got a top tier tight end. They're running. Miles Sanders has been an under the radar hero for this team this year. He is running outstanding this year, but because of everything else, he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle. But I thought he was sensational on Sunday night in the win over Dallas. Defensive line is deep. The linebackers. TJ Edwards has been very good this season. Kaiser White was probably the unsung hero of the game on Sunday. He's flying over the ball. He's brought, size, physicality, coverage skills. He, again, it's because this team has stars that it's like these guys who in another year might be the guys that we're hyping up and getting excited about and, buying the jerseys up. But at this point, it's like, we've got big play Slay. We got CJ making interceptions. Epps has been very, very good at safety. It's Bradbury. It's like, I remember being in the locker room. It was after which game was it? It was after after the Jaguars game, and Slay is like, we're talking with Bradbury, and Bradbury's like, talking about the game, and then Slay's right next to him and goes, "You guys are asking the wrong questions." So of course we're like, Slay, well, what's the question to be asking? How do the Giants let this man go? And Bradbury doesn't want to make a big deal of it, so he's he just plays it off. But it's like, you understand they were in a cap situation or whatnot, but that was just a well played maneuver by Howie to be in position that when that happens, literally falls into their laps right there. So and just shores up. Because again, I think when you were going into, we were having this discussion, I'm sure, in the offseason episodes where it'd be like, all right, well, what's the one area they got addressed? You figure, okay, who's going to be the starter opposite of Slay? Well, that's the guy who took care of it, and he has been. Again, it reminds you of 17. In like every move that in that 17 offseason, you brought in Chris Long, you traded for Tim Jernigan, you got Alshon, you got Torrey Smith. It was like every move hit in a big way. Your draft picks contributed right away. It's that same, type of offseason here where it's like all these new additions have come together and have come together in a better way than I think anyone could have hoped for. You usually, that, all right, you're going to bring all these guys in. You don't know how they're going to gel. You don't know if they're going to be able to play at the level that you previously had viewed them in, maybe one of these guys isn't going to hit. You feel like every guy is hit so far at this point.
I actually have a question about Howie because the trade deadline's coming. Week 8. Are we going to see? Are we going to see any moves? Are we going to see any moves, Chris?
That's your cops.
I joked with our cap guy Jake Rosenberg today. I said, do I need to be on call this weekend?
Right?
I'm like, if this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it, to get ahead of it, because you get the guy in the building, can acclimate him during a bye week. So, look, Howie has to look at the landscape and look at what's going on with this team and what's going on around the league and going on in the conference and say, there's a golden opportunity here. Okay. Whether, I don't know what kind of starter level player you're going to be able to bring in with the way the Eagles are playing. It could just be a valuable depth piece, but look, it's Howie. He's definitely going to be up to the task of trying to pull in something here. And, you remember Jay Ajayi during the Super Bowl run. That was the big acquisition to kind of shore things up there. Could something happen? Certainly. And like I said, I told Jake Rosenberg, do I need to have my phone? I'm hoping. I was like, are you guys going out of the office? Are you guys going to be away from your family? Like what is this weekend going to be like? Because I just want to make sure, that if something's going down, that we're at the ready. So, at this point, obviously I don't know what's going to go down or what talks are being had, but the thing is, you also got to think about the culture. You got to make sure if you're going to bring in a guy, that it's going to be a guy that's going to fit this winning mentality, because things are so good right now. It's such a chemistry experiment when you bring in new people into the building, how they're going to fit in. And CJ Gardner-Johnson is just so competitive, but he's allowed to be himself from a personality standpoint. Like, I was having this conversation with someone today, and it was like he was meant to be an Eagle almost with the way with the swagger that he brings, but he's learned. And I think it was Josh Tolentino from the Inquirer did a good story about this, about how he kind of learned, okay, I see how the other guys have that confidence, have the air about themselves, but they know how to kind of do it in a way that it's not all about me, that you're kind of helping the greater good more than anything else here. So, look, I fully expect Howie to do something at some point, but that's just me knowing how Howie operates. It's not based on any knowledge or plans or anything like that. But I just think you have an opportunity here where, okay, this team is poised to do some damage here. You've got a complete roster, but there's that one spot that you can shore up, and you have the capital
Special
to do
teams.
it.
Special teams.
Speaking of special teams, guys, I know D-Jax, worked out with the Ravens today.
He signed with them, so he's gone.
He's signed.
Oh, wow.
He's
Wow.
signed, so
I don't care.
Yeah.
Bye. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So that's not happening here. So
He's a good guy.
But look, Chris, hey, real quick, I really want to ask you a direct question. I know everybody want to see Jordan Davis out there, right? The numbers speak. The Eagles are better, when Jordan Davis is on the field with stopping the run. So do you see Fletcher Cox? He is a free agent. He's walking at the end of this season. So do you see him possibly being a trade bait for a team that is in contention to make the playoffs and possibly?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Why mess up a good thing, right?
Look, I know that some of the plays in the game the other night kind of were like spotlight on Fletcher. And again, I think part of it is the way the defense was set up and whatnot late in the game. Jordan Davis, look, he's come into his own in the perfect way. He's not being forced to have to play more. And again, we're in week 6. Okay, we got to get this team peak condition week 16, 17, 18. You don't want, the rookie Wall hitting him and not being able to be at his best for the late stretch run. I think the Eagles are handling it just fine to let him grow. They're letting him develop. He's got Cox and Hargrave, but Cox is one of the leaders of that locker room. He's one of the guys who sets the tone in there. I don't see any reason. Is he 2018 Fletcher Cox? No, he's not that anymore, but he's still a damn good starting defensive tackle in this league, and it is a huge part. And it's going to be a huge reason the Eagles get as far as they do this year, because again, he was one of the guys after it was after the Jacksonville game where it was like, I asked him point blank, do you feel like this is something special? And it's like, he's like, I've been here. Like, I know what this takes. Like, we can't get, over the moon about 4-0, 5-0 start. Okay. Like, obviously good things are in place and everyone's healthy, and that's a big thing, but it's a long, long way to go. Let's enjoy the ride. No question. Because we're the last undefeated team, and this has happened, first time since 2004 that they've gone off to this type of start. It hasn't been since 2017 when they haven't this kind of win streak. So, but the big thing is there's still a lot of football left to be played. I mean, we were talking about this before the Cardinals game. Who was the last undefeated team last year? And where's that team today?
Shoot, who was it?
The Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Murray got hurt, though. And that's when they started going down.
Yeah, it seemed like that, they stumbled into the playoffs. They got embarrassed in the playoffs. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, 'cause just like I said, my point here, you want to get this team the way it is to the end of the season. Those key injuries, all of a sudden, that juggernaut of a team ain't going to look the same. So, but that's the biggest thing is the vibe. The vibe is great. Players are healthy. Lane should be back after the bye. After getting the concussion the other night, I don't think there's any other significant injuries coming out of the game. The guys are just using this time to get rested, and it's a Steelers team that I don't know who we're gonna have a quarterback. I think it's gonna be Pickett if he's healthy. I know he's in the protocol at this point, but that defense, that defensive line, Cam Hayward, still a darn good defense. They'll present challenges for this team. And look, that Mike Tomlin teams, okay, they find ways. It's gritty and they find ways to win. So it's not gonna be an easy game coming up at the link. On paper, of course the Eagles should win, but it doesn't always play out that way. So it'll be interesting to see how going through everything that's happened the first 6 games, what have they tweaked? What have they improved? What are they looking to expand upon? Because this was the time that Sirianni and company made the turn last year. They were 2-5, and they realized, all right, we got to throw out the baby with the bathwater, and let's get this offense on track, and let's salvage our season here. Let's see what kind of changes they might have in store. You don't need to make overarching schematic changes like last year. But I just think the way they've managed Jalen Hurts, the way that he's worked in this offense, the way they've built the team and the scheme to highlight his skill set has just been sensational. And Jalen, I've said this for a while. Like I just want to see him succeed in this city so bad, just because he is that good a dude that you see in the interviews, you see in the locker room speeches, you see on TV. Like, he's that guy that these guys just gravitate towards. And I don't know what he does, to be honest, outside the game. It's he's a football guy through and through, and this is what he wants. He wants to be great as a quarterback. And I remember following him from covering the Senior Bowl when he came out in 2020 to seeing him at the Combine, and it's like you just saw him, even back then. This is not thinking he was going to be an Eagle, not thinking he's going to be the starting quarterback in a couple of seasons, but just watching him go through the process and, making small incremental improvements along the way there to where he's at now has just been absolutely amazing. A testament to the work ethic. And I know that the work ethic thing gets thrown around a lot because, everyone works hard, but no, this guy is the real deal when it comes to the preparation and what it takes to be willing to devote yourself to your craft and maximize your abilities and your talents.
Nice, man. Nice, man. Hey, shout out to all you guys for being there. We're about to be 3 hours deep in here. Shout out to all the guests. Make sure you click subscribe, follow all of them, man. They're great, content creators for the Philadelphia Eagles. They definitely know their birds. And Chris, before we get you out of here too, I just want to know, what do you think is the biggest need for the Eagles moving forward to continue their streak?
I mean, at this point, you're just looking for depth pieces. Okay. What can they do on special teams? Because, I mean, you look at the analytics, you look at everything, and, I think we all see it. The special teams, that's the one area that needs to be improved. All right. Well, that's, is that going to be like I'm trying to think of a key guy like that's like an Alex Singleton, a type of guy, that you lost to Denver in the offseason. That's a type of, spot where he would need to come through. But I think it's amazing that we're able to sit here and say, like, who, typically you would say there's been a person or position or that's underachieved. I mean, I really just don't feel that there's that much. Yeah, is there depth that you can add? Certainly across the board. You can say that at every position, but Howie and company have found ways to add starters or fortify, even since the start of the season, getting a Trey Sermon in here, someone who was a 3rd round pick just to add that talent and depth to the running back room. That's the biggest thing. So again, when you got CJ Gardner-Johnson right at the start of the season, that kind of, I think, filled your biggest need. And
Yes.
I really can't wait to see his growth over this second half of this season. I just feel like that he's, scratching the top of the iceberg here. And, the 2-pick game, I think really now will kind of be like, okay, he's feeling comfortable there on the back end of the defense, a place that he hasn't played before. So, no, I think it's just time for us to buckle in, see if Howie has anything in store, and then let's get ready for what's going to be an amazing final 11 games of this regular season.
Nice, man. Hey, I think that the sky's the limit for this team. We're definitely about to come out this a lot better. This bye week a lot better than we was before the bye week. Like I said, every game matters. Every game's that much more, experience for these young players, because you got to realize we got a bunch of superstars that have not even reached their peak yet. Jalen Hurts hasn't reached his peak. AJ Brown hasn't reached his peak. Devontae, you can go down the list. Quez, Goddard, Miles. None of those guys are peak players right now, and we're doing this good. So to see these guys continue to gel together and get better throughout the season is going to be amazing to see. So let's go ahead and get our final words out, man. Much love to all you guys. Thank you guys so much. This is the first time I ever did a 3 live in one type thing, and it went just as planned, man. Shout out to the 31 still up in here. Shout out to you guys for sticking with us the 3 hours. But go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at and your final words. Heading off tonight.
Ladies first, come on now.
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you, Chris.
Come on.
Oh, well, you can find us on Twitter, Eagles Talk 3, Facebook, Eagles Talk, YouTube, Eagles Talk. You can follow me on Twitter at Nichelle Pace directly, but I usually tweet live from Eagles Talk 3 on Twitter. And you can find us definitely on Facebook. We have the Eagles Talk podcast page, and we also have a Facebook group that we like to keep the chat going and share a lot of information there. So, and thanks for having us. It was great to be on with you guys, and great to see you, Chris. And so we're excited for the season. Thanks for having us on.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks. Well, she's given all our social media platforms. So you can find me, Dante, at Dante the Dark Knight 1911 on Instagram. I don't know my Twitter. It's Dante Dark Knight. It's Dante Dark Knight on Twitter. And like Nichelle says, you want to check us out as we record our podcast live. We go live on Facebook,
really big on Facebook
7 o'clock
you guys be having a bunch of people
on Thursdays upon further review. And we do a pregame and postgame show, hour before the Eagles game and immediately following the Eagles game. Thank you, Bird Gang 31, for having us on. We always have a great time. And if you want to experience the most unique Eagles coverage show around, check us out Thursday, 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Look, man, I'm definitely going to check y'all out. I mean, look, I think we had some good chemistry going on. You know what I mean? Hey, we didn't agree on a lot of things, but you know what? Hey, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. I would have to have someone on my show that agrees with everything that, Eagles do. Anyway, I definitely appreciate you, Dante and Nichelle. And, of course, my guy, Chris, man. I appreciate y'all. But you can find me on JC Sports Talk on YouTube and JC Sports Talk 20 on Twitter. I'm tweeting everything that the Philadelphia Eagle page is saying out. I'm retweeting, I'm requoting, I'm making fun of everybody. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm Eagles all day. But this was a blast for me, man. Good job, BG31, man. Long time coming, but I'm glad you finally did it. And Chris, once again, thank you very much. I appreciate your hard work in front of the screen, behind the screen, it doesn't matter, my brother. Hey, you already know me, man. Hey, I appreciate all your hard work.
Hey, BG, thanks for getting us all together. It's been a blast. Download the Eagles app. You already follow all the socials, I'm sure. Download that Eagles app. That'll be my plug to leave you all here. So,
all right, guys. Well, hey, great show. Thank you guys again. Much love to you guys. We're definitely going to need to do some more work this season. And like I always say, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time, this is BG. We out.
Go Birds.
Peace.